flirting with the top scholar, caught by the eldest son. He grabbed me, apologized to the other guy, poor supervision, sorry about that. That night, he punished me with family law. I was shaking like a leaf. The refined gentleman looked cold. Still wanna play games, little miss? I married Master, he's 20 years older than me. Bad luck, he died on our wedding night. At the funeral, I met the eldest son who rushed back from the capital. My stepson, Jiang Sai. Incense wheeling round, he wore pure white mourning clothes, holding incense sticks, paying respects, cold eyes, elegant presents. Before I never would have dared to mess with a guy like this, like some celestial being. But now, I'm his mom. Young mom is still mom, right? I made the first move on him. Young master, my condolences. You're my father's new concubine. Just one look, disgust flashed in his eyes. Naturally, a noble scholar raised on Confucian values wouldn't like a seductress like me. I lightly covered my face with a handkerchief, unfazed. Yes, you should call me mother. Why did you marry my father? For the family fortune, obviously. I put on a tearful act. What do you mean? I married your father because we fell in love. Doubt showed on his face. I had to play innocent. I'd rather not take a single penny. That way you wouldn't suspect me of being after the master's fortune. Silence all around. I peeked at him. Cold phoenix eyes, straight nose, thin lips, a small red mole between his brows. Handsome is handsome, just too cold and distant. He seemed to notice. He looked back, those phoenix eyes, cold as frost. Mother, you truly loved father deeply. So easy to fool, that's what I thought. His cold, deep voice slowly spoke again. That's good then. Father left you nothing in his will. I thought it was wrong, but I was overthinking. Turns out Master Jiang had already written the will. His fortune goes to his children, and the wives who bore him children. Late at night, someone climbed through my window into my little attic. I grabbed my vanity box and threw it at him. Jiang Tingyi, you screwed me over. He caught it easily, smiling, eyes filled with mischief, face like a peach blossom, devastatingly handsome. What's the rush, little miss? This road ain't closed yet. This devilish man is the illegitimate second son of the Jiang family, Jiang Tingyi. He's the one who dragged me onto this sinking ship. A year ago, my stepmother sold me to a eunuch who got off on torturing women. I escaped. In my panic, I ran into Jiang Tingyi, who was out having fun. I spotted the jade token at his waist. Jiang family, he could protect me. I threw myself into his arms. Sir, save me. The wild, unruly guy wrapped his arm around my waist. Those flirtatious peach blossom eyes gleaming, he chuckled softly. Little miss, what can you give me? Whatever you want, sir, I'll give you. He carried me onto a covered carriage. The curtain swayed. Outside the window came the eunuch's shrill, fawning voice. Second young master, if you like her, she's yours. The eunuch wasn't afraid of the second son. He feared the Jiang family. Rich and powerful. They've got an empress in the palace, and an eldest son who's the chief minister. A family like that, everyone shows respect. Apricot blossoms falling, Jiang Tingyi's robe half open. He hid me in his arms, smiling like the spring breeze. Thanks, eunuchla. The voices faded away. Jiang Tingyi tossed me his robe. Little vixen, want wealth and glory forever. He saw right through me. I'm no good girl. I stopped pretending. Yes. Young Tingyi wanted me to seduce his dad, whisper in his ear, fight for inheritance. When it works out, you'll get your share. We hit it off. Master Jiang at 40 didn't look old at all, tall, refined, handsome face, gentle when talking to people. At the temple, I dropped my handkerchief in front of him on purpose. He picked it up and returned it. The moment he saw me, he froze. I heard I looked like his first love who died young. His white moonlight. Everything was going smoothly. Who knew his dad would die on the wedding night and leave behind that damn will? My honey trap failed before I even used it. Now what? What can I do? Can I magically become your dad's daughter and inherit the fortune? I slunk down, sat in front of the vanity, and took off my earrings. Jiang Tingyi leaned to the side, toying with the vanity box, casual as ever. You could have one. What did you say? Borrow, seed, make, baby, little miss. Nobody knows you didn't sleep with my father that night. Off by a month or two, you could totally pull it off. I was shocked. Little miss, Jiang Tingyi lifted my delicate chin. His voice low and deep. Fortune favors the bold. I was forced to meet his gaze. Those dark, gleaming peach blossom eyes. The gentleman before me, red lips, white teeth, stunning features, a gorgeous face. Just for this face, it's not a bad deal. Besides, I gotta save the seed and ditch the father. He shrugged. Sorry, I gotta save myself for my future wife. A playboy who spends every night at the brothel, and I almost believed him. I rolled my eyes. Then tell me, who should I find? My brother. Who? Jiang Sai. My brother. A kid from him would actually look like us Jiangs. This would drag Jiang Sai off his pedestal, ruin him. I leaned closer to Jiang Tingyi, squinting. You want to take down your brother? Jiang Tingyi smiled lazily. Not really. The girl I want to marry likes him. No choice, gotta ask you to help steal him away, little miss. The girl Jiang Tingyi wants to marry is Su Jingwen. She's from a high-class family, a legitimate daughter. She likes Jiang Sai. Honestly, any decent girl would pick Jiang Sai as a husband. He's from a noble background, the eldest son, a high official, and virtuous. The perfect husband. Problem is, how could a pure and noble man like this ever fall for me? How could Jiang Sai like me? Men know men best. Jiang Tingyi's wild gaze roamed over me. If we'd met for the first time, and you played it better, I might have fallen for your act too. Gotta say, Jiang Tingy's got a silver tongue. He could sell ice to Eskimos. He actually convinced me. Just take a gamble. You lose, with my brother's good temper. Worst case, he kicks you out. You win, Zhao Yingying, you'll have endless wealth and glory for life. When you put it that way, endless wealth and glory, I'm really tempted. Jiang Tingyi wanted me to seduce Jiang Sai, make him fall in love. Me, I know my limits. I just wanted to make Jiang Sai fall in lust. I didn't bother trying to build feelings. I just cut to the chase. I carried a lantern and knocked on his study door. Like a fox demon from Ghost Story, swaying gracefully. Young master, I heard you have a rare sutra here. Can I borrow it? I want to chant sutras for your father. Jiang Sai frowned slightly, but he's well-mannered. Though he disapproved of my flighty behavior, he patiently agreed. Wait a moment. Dim lamplight I stood at the door, wind and snow blew into my collar, I couldn't help but shiver. While flipping through books, Jiang Sai glanced toward the door. Just one look, he felt sympathy. Come in, and wait. Jiang Sai whooped at Sanxiang and entered the cabinet early, knew how to govern the country but didn't understand scheming women. That moment of weakness, he let the wolf in. So cool. His eyes stayed on the bookshelf, didn't look at me once. His tone cool. Go warm up by the stove. So he looked for the rare book. I picked through the incense burner. Plum blossoms cast bar shadows. Inside, dark fragrance floated. A book dropped from his hand. His steps unsteady. Those long, pale fingers pressed against his brow, confused. What's wrong? Nothing. But quickly he put the bookshelf tight. Cold sweat, face pale as paper, lips pressed thin. I walked toward him step by step. The bells on my feet jingling. Young master, you're tired, aren't you? Let me help you to the couch. No need. He's stubborn. But he's so weak. Didn't even have strength to push me away. I gently supported him, stood on tiptoe, and blew softly in his ear. Be good. Listen to me. In that moment, he seemed to suddenly understand. But it was too late. Away from the funeral's lingering incense, his features became gradually clearer, more vivid. Like a faint landscape in an ink painting, slowly spreading across rice paper. That little red mole between his brows, the only splash of color. So vibrant it made my heart tremble. I touched it lightly. His tense body trembled slightly. What exactly are you doing? Can't exactly tell him I'm borrowing him for stud serving. I had to lie on the spot. I fell for you at first sight, lovesick, terminally ill. No choice but to take this risk. Just one night with you, and I can die without regrets. He took a deep breath, trembling harder. At the funeral, you said you and my father were in love. Did I say that? I've told so many lies, I can't even remember. I kissed his straight nose bridge. Young master, don't think about it. Right now, I only love you. He closed his eyes with difficulty, lips pressed tight, wouldn't say another word. He felt ashamed. Ashamed that his body betrayed his will. The drifting fragrance wasn't some aphrodisiac. Just ordinary muscle relaxant, but he got aroused. I patiently soothed him. Don't be like this. No one else will ever know. My gaze dropped. Those restrained, cold thin lips had a mysterious allure. I lowered my head to kiss him. He turned his head away. Won't let me kiss you, I'm gonna anyway. Crowd startled, moonlight trembling. I tempted him. I'll come every night, okay? Until I get pregnant. Well, the eldest son didn't agree. His breathing ragged, firmly rejected me. Dream on. Sleep seduction, failed. Jai played the zither in the plum forest. Several noble ladies surrounded him. They're the second Miss's friends, following the second Miss. Properly calling him brother, asking him about sheet music. I pretended to pass by, stared right at him, eyes lighting up. I heard the young master plays beautifully. Could I have the honor of listening? He pressed his lips together, wouldn't even look at me. Wow, really hates me. I acted casual, joined the crowd of noble ladies. Chen propped up, openly admiring him. A lady asked him, Brother, I can never play Moonlit Night on the Spring River Ride. Can you show me once? His gaze softened. He nodded silently. I asked the second Miss, who's that lady? Su Jingwan. Oh, that's the girl Jiang Tinji wants to marry. Probably not one-sided love egotist. Poor Jiang Tinji. Probably won't get the girl he wants. They see the music flop. I stared lazily at those hands controlling the strings. Long, pale, distinct knuckles. Out of nowhere, I remembered that night. Deep darkness. These hands cold as jade, guided by me, stroking taut silk. Young master, these hands are beautiful and talented. I love them. Desire surged in his eyes, but he held back hard. His voice hoarse as how. Shut up. His mouth was stubborn, but his hands were obedient. The music quickened. Delicate tides rose and fell with his fingertips, gradually swelling into surging waves. His fingers strong, pressing down tight on a string. All rhythm concentrated at one point. Then a sharp twang. Instantly, moonlight surged, foam boiled, splashing together through the flower forest. People in the crowd whispered. Seems like he played a wrong note. Impossible. How could the young master play wrong? You heard wrong. Those jade, carved hands clenched with restraint. Vain, and the owner of the hand takes a deep breath, her gaze sweeping over the crowd, looking straight at me with cold, dismissive eyes. Want to get rid of me? Not happening, unstay. He frowns, presses his lips together, and leaves with his lute. I follow right behind him. When we reach his study, he slams the door shut. I quickly stick my hand out to block it. It hurts. I grit my teeth, hissing in pain. Are you crazy? A vein throbs at his temple. He pulls my hand away and brings it close to examine it. He doesn't say a word while applying the medicine, frowning as usual. Clearly annoyed beyond measure, but forcing himself to stay calm. I tilt my head and look at him, calling softly, "Sigh." He pauses for a moment. Those long lashes flutter like dragonfly wingings skimming a lotus tip. His lips stay pressed tight. He doesn't respond at all. I mutter to myself, "Why won't you answer me?" "Sure, I'm your stepmother, but I'm younger than you. 4 years younger, actually. Calling you that isn't too much, right? Okay, I won't call you that anymore. Do you like Su Jingguan? Are you going to marry her? Because she's proper." He holds the tweezer smoothing the medicine on, his voice cold. "None of your business." I prop my chin up and shake my head with a sigh. "You just take advantage of the fact I like you and treat me so coldly." He looks up at me, his gaze icy as he asks back, "Did I seduce you?" Those cold phoenix eyes look like crescent moons, reflected on water, rippling with irritation. Clearly, my feelings are a burden to him. I shrug and lean close to him, whispering in his ear, "Di Changzi, your very existence is a seduction. What an innocent young master." In a moment, his ears start turning red, like clouds at dusk catching fire from one to the next. Burning helplessly. "Di Changzi, why are you blushing?" He turns away, refusing to look at me anymore. "Di Changzi, why won't you look at me?" He's losing it. "Shut up. Kiss me, and you'll shut me up." Get ill. Kicked out again. I can't even get into his courtyard. Looks like I really made him mad. I have to adjust my strategy. Since I can't go physical, I'll have to work on his heart. Make a box of plum blossom incense and give it to second miss. Borrowing a fine Jiaowei lute from her. Today, I'll play badly to get Zhang Lang's attention. My delicate hands lazily pluck out notes so awful they ruin anyone's peace. Who lives for music, passes through the plum grove, stops, and follows the sound. Stop. I look up at the man before me. The morning mist dampens his dark brows and eyes, creating soft captivating ripples. Even when annoyed, there's something irresistibly alluring about him. No. Feeling mischievous, I raise my hand and strike down hard. Twang. The sharp, grating sound shatters the calm elegance between his brows, like a priceless landscape painting, slashed randomly by a child's knife, leaving a harsh tear as striking as the red beauty mark between his brows. Annoyed now, he reaches out and presses down on the strings. "Stop playing." "I'll keep playing." He presses his lips together, grabs the lute and turns to leave. "Hey, am I really that bad?" His steps pause. So bad that even touching the lute is a crime? But he's silent for a long time. Finally, he turns around and looks at me. "If you really like it, then play properly." "I want to, but no one will teach me." I walk up to him, gently plucking the strings, coaxing him. "How about this? You teach me for a month, and I'll never bother you again. Wherever you are, I'll stay away." His gaze turns cold. "Why should I trust you?" "Because the offer is too good to pass up." "I'm sure you'll take the bet, Di Changzi." Being utterly despised by him is actually something I can use. Sure enough, he agrees, but still warns me sternly. "If you flirt with me at all during this month, or act inappropriately, I won't be polite anymore." Yes, this student will behave perfectly, and keep all feelings for her teacher hidden away, never bothering him. A whole month together. I refuse to believe I won't find another chance to make a move on him. I carry the lute and knock on Jiang Sai's study door. To lower his guard, I go bare-faced, no makeup. Plainly dressed, looking like an eager student. "I'm in your hands now, teacher." Simple clothes can't hide natural beauty. Stunning and elegant, just appearing more gentle and docile. The moment he sees me, he's briefly taken aback. I'm secretly pleased. Does this plain look appeal to him? But in just a moment, he regains his composure and asks, "What time is it now?" "Around in the morning, I guess." "Why so late?" I yawn. "I stayed up reading last night and overslept." "Still tired?" "A little." His tone turns icy. "Need to sleep some more." I think about I start to push the door open. "I'll rest on your bed for a bit. Wake me up later to practice." I hear him snort coldly and slap my hand away. "Wait outside, coming when you're awake." I snap to attention and quickly backtrack. I'm awake." "Good, then stay awake and stand there. Heart of stone." "How long?" He closes the door without mercy. 1 hour. Such a cool, heartless man. After half an hour, I peek through the window at Zhang Sai. He's painting, completely focused and absorbed. He's clearly forgotten all about me. I think it over. Instead of just standing here, why not try to win him over? A small clay stove in the study is brewing tea, giving off a delicate fragrance. An idea strikes me. I've heard that brewing tea with snow what makes it taste better. I'll go get some from the plum grove for him to try. While I'm shaking snow from the trees, a clear male voice suddenly calls from below. "Miss, can you tell me how to get to Himing Stream?" "Miss, not concubine Zhao, interesting." "Interesting." I don't. Standing under the plum tree is a refined young scholar in a blue robe, gentle as jade, smiling like a clear spring. Himing Stream is Zhang Sai's courtyard. He's here to see Zhang Sai. I'm interested in everything about Zhang Sai, so I ask him with curiosity. "Who are you? What's your relationship with Zhang Sai?" The young man replies politely, "Gu Boyan. Zhang and I were classmates." No wonder. He has that same scholarly air as Zhang Sai. I've always kept my distance from scholars. Not wanting to get involved with him, I point to the southeast. There, that way. I ignore him and go back to what I'm doing. Excuse me, but which daughter of the household are you? He actually thinks I'm a daughter of the Zhang family. What a clueless fool. I can't resist teasing him. The sixth. The Zhang family only has 5 daughters. A 6th daughter doesn't exist. What are you doing? Be careful not to fall. I get into it, deciding to keep up the act, collecting snow water to brew tea. I only drink tea brewed with snow water. Anything else is beneath me. Gu Guoyan laughs. How refined of you, miss. You flatter me, young master. Up in the moment I get careless and lose my footing. Whoosh. I tumble down from the tree with the jar. Oh, I eat dirt. Miss. Gu Guoyan panics and forgets propriety, rushing over to check on me. Are you okay? My ankle throbs. I touch it. I think I twisted it. Help me out. His gaze shifts and accidentally lands on my torn stocking. He freezes. Just then, a cold voice comes from nearby. Guoyan, why are you here? My heart skips. Zhang Sai doesn't look at me, only stares coldly at Gu Guoyan. Those cold phoenix eyes narrow slightly, like a sharp brushstroke, devoid of any warmth, radiating an invisible, oppressive force. Gu Guoyan is caught in an awkward position. Zhang Sai walks over, bends down, and extends his hand to me. Get up. I quickly grab his hand and shakily stand. He notices my disheveled state, frowns and with one hand removes his cloak and wraps it around me. After carefully checking to make sure nothing is exposed, he turns around and coldly dismisses Gu Guoyan. Sorry, women of the household shouldn't interact with outside men. Please leave, brother Gu. Gu Guoyan hesitates. I'm worried about her. Zhang Sai shoots him a fierce look. Gu Guoyan, she's a woman of my household. Gu Guoyan snaps out of it and quickly apologizes. Sorry, I overstepped. Brother Zhang, I'll visit another day. After Gu Guoyan leaves, only Zhang Sai and I remain deep in the plum grove. An invisible pressure weighs down like a mountain. He stares at me, his tone calm like the stillness before a storm. Did I tell you to come here and stand? A dangerous instinct. I hold my breath and shake my head. Why were you talking to him? Post-fatal action. His cold eyes show no emotion. He opens the cloak and his gaze falls on my half-covered foot. His expression darkens instantly. Gu Guoyan saw it. My heart tightens. I finally realize what's happening. Zhang Sai thinks I was deliberately seducing Gu Guoyan. And as the current head of the Jiang household, he can't tolerate such behavior that disgraces the family. I pull the cloak over my foot and immediately deny it. No, of course not. I only show it to the one I love. Zhang Sai stares at me, his gaze sharp, saying nothing. I suppress my unease and quietly grab a corner of his sleeve. The one I love is you. I know you don't like it, but I can't help how I feel. The harshness in his expression softens slightly, but he still warns me. Don't talk to anyone who asks you for directions from now on. He's guarding me like a thief. His gaze shifts again, landing on my reddened, frozen fingertips. His tone turns cold again. And what's wrong with your hand? I heard brewing tea with snow water tastes better, so I wanted to collect some for you to try. The snow on the trees isn't all clean, so I picked through it carefully. My hands got red from the cold. I thought he'd be touched, but instead his expression grows colder, his words like ice. No one asked you to do that. This man is impossible. I purse my lips unfazed. Oh, I almost forgot. Anything I touch you won't want it anyway, no matter how clean it is. He glances at me, his emotions complicated. That's not what I meant. I press my lips together and say nothing, rubbing my hands. He stares silently at my hands for a long moment, then sighs in resignation. Zhao Yingying, you don't need to humiliate yourself to please me. I thought I could use practicing as an excuse to be alone with Jiang Sai and make my move. But he's on high alert and calls Second Miss to practice with us. The Second Miss looks miserable and makes excuses to skip out. Big brother, she borrowed my lute. Jiang Sai is unmoved. She'll use mine. She doesn't need yours. I'm persistent. My mind races and I tell Jiang Sai. Second Miss and I aren't at the same level. Teaching us together won't work. Bai is busy tuning the strings, not even looking up. Have you heard her play? I look at Second Miss. She twirls a strand of hair and smiles awkwardly at me. I'm faking it. Second Miss is genuinely terrible. My ears are tortured by her playing. One day when Jiang Sai isn't around, I ask Second Miss. By the way, where did your brother go today? She leans close to my ear, all mysterious. I overheard that he and his friend are going to Tianxiang Tower to see a courtesan. I'm shocked. Your brother? No way. Second Miss gets excited. Don't believe me? Come with me and see. She gets me into men's clothing and we sneak through a dark hole, making our way easily to Tianxiang Tower. Standing at the entrance, I look at Second Miss's eager face and finally snap out of it. Jiang Wanwan, are you messing with me? Zhang Sai is as pure as snow. How could he possibly come to a place like this? I must have lost my mind. Second Miss sticks out her tongue. Just come in with me and have some fun. You're an elder anyway. Even if he found out, he wouldn't scold you. She suddenly stared at something in the distance. Her mouth opened, looking like she'd seen a ghost. What now? She panicked and quickly pulled me aside. He's here. He's really here. I followed her gaze. The person stepping down from the sedan was really Zhang Sai. His hair was held by a white jade pin. He had an outstanding presence. His face was like carved jade, a refined young gentleman. The girls at the entrance stared wide-eyed. They swarmed over to greet him like bees to honey. We need to go now. If he sees us, we're done for. The second young lady grabbed me to leave. I narrowed my eyes. Wan, don't you want to see the courtesan? I want to see what kind of courtesan Jiang Sai likes. I do, but what about him? I pointed at a mask stall nearby. We can just wear masks. Her eyes lit up and she clapped. Right. Xiang House was auctioning a courtesan's first night. Inside, it was bright as day and packed. Even the private rooms were fully booked. The second young lady and I could only join the crowd in the main hall. The auction was already in full swing. Someone shouted out a bid of 5,000 taels. The madam grinned from ear to ear. 5,000 taels, going once. 12,000 taels. As she was about to contend, Jiang Sai in the private room took a sip of wine. The man in black beside him immediately understood and called out a higher bid. 10,000. Everyone gasped. Jiang Sai won the courtesan's first night. The madam beamed. She invited Jiang Sai upstairs to the courtesan's chamber on the top floor. No way. Is he really that kind of guy? I took a sip of wine and scoffed. Your brother really knows how to put on an act. My competitive spirit flared up. 10,000 taels for a courtesan's first night. I want to see how much prettier she is than me. Watching Jiang Sai head upstairs, I used the excuse of washing my hands to slip away from the second young lady. I snuck into the back courtyard, changed into a sheer Dao's dress and veil, and pretended to deliver wine to sneak upstairs. Just as I was getting close to Jiang Sai's room, a manager from Tianxing House stopped me. You look unfamiliar. I just started recently. Before he could say more, someone else called him. He waved me off, telling me to deliver wine to a room at the end of the hallway. I had no choice but to carry the wine that way. I knocked. A lazy male voice came from inside. Who is it? One delivery. The person inside paused. Come in. I pushed open. The room was lavishly decorated. Deep inside, rails veiled everything. A figure was faintly visible behind it. It looked like a dissolute man lounging there. Several seductive women surrounded him, attending to him. I set down the wine and turned to leave. The man inside suddenly laughed. Girl, do you know the rules? I stopped. Sir, I'm new here. If I did something wrong, please let me know. A woman giggled. Little girl, you need to bring the wine inside. Should the master come out and pour it himself? I grimaced. What a hassle. I had no choice but to part the red gauze and step in. Now I could see the man clearly. He wore red robes with a wide open collar. His dark hair fell loosely. He wore a gold mask covering the upper half of his face. The exposed lower half showed smooth, refined features. His lips, red as maple leaves, curved into a smile. Come here. The women around him all looked at me with strange expressions. I had a bad feeling and quietly stepped back. He smiled again. You don't like them. He didn't even say a word. Just one casual glance at those women, and they turned pale. They fled like their lives depended on it. Alarm bells rang in my head. I quietly shuffled backward. Just then, my wrist was grabbed by a powerful force. The world spun. The man pinned me beneath him. Trying to run. Too late. Behind the gold mask, his gaze burned with heat and aggression. My heart pounded. Sir, I'm not that kind of girl. I know. I also know you're not from Tianxiang House. So what? He leaned down and pinned both my hands above my head. He was about to kiss me. My heart raced. I desperately invoked Jiang Sai's name. You can't touch me. I came here with my master. My master is the young master of the Zhang family from Black Silk Lane Jiang Sai. The man stopped and gave a cold laugh. Thinking of another man in my bed, that deserves punishment. He grabbed a small porcelain box. He poured out a red pill. He pinched my jaw and forced it into my mouth. Swallow it. Instantly, my whole body went limp. The man slowly unbuttoned my clothes. His eyes grew darker with desire. He sighed softly. I'm starting to regret this. I forced my eyes open and looked around. On the table by the wall sat his either. I bit my lip and tried to stall him. I don't want to do this here. It's filthy. He laughed good-naturedly. Where do you want then? I frowned. I guess only that table looks clean. I challenged him. Can you even carry me there? Sure enough, men can't resist a challenge. He picked me up. I walked to the table, setting it down. He moved to sweep the zither aside, but I grabbed it. With nonchalance, I lazily plucked the strings. How about some music to set the mood? A zither sound could carry through walls for help. I played a unique melody. If Jiang Sai was also on this floor and heard it, he'd know immediately it was me. The masked man sneered. I'm not Jiang Sai. I have no interest in music. With a sharp sound, he snatched the zither and smashed it on the floor. He reached to lift my skirt. My heart jumped. Just then, someone knocked on the door. Who is it? The man covered my mouth, his tone impatient. Excuse me, I'm Jiang Sai. A maid traveling with me has gone missing. Her hairpin fell outside your door. Have you seen her, sir? I was instantly moved to tears and kicked the table, edged to make noise. The man in red narrated. Behind the mask, his beautiful eyes held complex emotions. Jiang Sai, instead of spending time with the 10,000 tael courtesan, you're worried about a little maid. Jiang Sai's voice outside was calm. I'll trade the courtesan for her. The man in red sneered. Trade the courtesan? You must mean a lot to him. Fine. I'm in no rush anyway. He picked me up and walked to the door. Without concealing anything, he opened it and said to Jiang Sai standing there. Young Master Jiang, you'd better keep a closer eye on this little maid of yours, so she doesn't come throwing herself at men again. My nerves jumped. I quickly protested. That's a lie. I looked at Zhang Sai, anxious and uneasy, trying to explain. I didn't seduce him. His face was dark as water, impossible to read. He simply took me from the man in red. My apologies for the disturbance. The man in red stood there and laughed. Oh, young Master Zhang. You better help her scratch that. Otherwise, she's in for a rough night. Zhang Sai didn't look back. No need to worry. And so, carried by Zhang Sai, I entered another private room on the top floor. As we crossed the threshold, Zhang Sai locked the door. Hugging me, he walked slowly and steadily toward the canopy behind the red gauze. The music and lights from outside were shut out. Inside we were completely engulfed in silent darkness. I felt a fear I'd never known before. This fear came from Jiang Sai's calm and silent demeanor. I opened my mouth and swallowed. Jiang Sai, put me down. My instincts told me to get away from him like this. In the darkness, he stopped. Then he laughed. Very softly and faintly. Put you down. My heart pounded. I felt something indescribable. No. You did something wrong. There must be consequences. In that instant, he pressed me hard against the wall. Like a calm sea suddenly rising into violent waves, crashing down without mercy. He no longer held back. He kissed me wildly and fiercely. My back pressed against the cold wall, chilling me to the bone. His cool phoenix eyes watched me intently, flickering with intensity. Shame overwhelmed me. Zhang Sai, don't look at me like that. Why not? His low voice brushed past my ear. I spoke through tears. Zhang Sai, let me go. The small red mole between his brows was bright like a little flame. He kissed me with extreme patience. Isn't this what you've always wanted? Zhao Yingying, I give up. I'm yours. So be fair. You can only be mine. I was wrong, Zhang Sai. I've only ever wanted you, Zhang Sai. Why else would I throw away all propriety and dignity trying to get close to you? He was unmoved. You've always been good with words. I was on the verge of tears, but right now, I'm being honest, aren't I? He stared at me for a long moment. Then his dark brows slowly relaxed. A feeling of joy and relief washed over him. Finally, I pleased him. He finally let me go. I curled up in his arms, soaked through. I thought hazily, now, I have to get pregnant with his child soon. And then get far away from him. I couldn't handle an awakened Jiang Sai at all. The second young lady quietly asked me about that night, since you're an elder. He wouldn't scold you. The corner of my mouth twitched. He did scold me, brutally. I just can't say how. Just then, Jiang Sai walked in. He still wore that snow-white fox fur. He looked refined and elegant. He was worlds apart from the man who demanded everything that night. Just seeing him made my face heat up. He glanced at the second young lady and said calmly, Wan, go back and put on another layer. The second young lady scratched her head in confusion. Really? She's wearing even less than me. Jiang Sai frowned. The second young lady immediately hopped up. Okay, I'll go add a layer. As soon as she left, my heart started racing uncontrollably. Sai sat down calmly beside me. He reached out, pulled me onto his lap, and leaned down to kiss me over and over again. My heart pounded. Aren't you afraid Wan will walk in? Sure wouldn't dare. You're really something as a brother. He used his snow-white fox fur to wipe me clean. It'll get dirty. You've dirtied it plenty of times. When Wan came back, she spotted a stain on Jiang Sai's fox fur. Brother, there's something on your robe. Jiang Sai looked straight at me without hiding anything. I looked back at him. My eyes clearly pleading. He sat up straight and turned the page in his book. She did it. My scalp tingled. Wan looked confused. Ha. Tea calmly, his Adam's apple moving slowly. She splashed tea on me. When she was pouring, I wanted to dig a hole and hide. The second young lady was up to no good. I heard the male attendants at Tianxiang House are gorgeous. Everyone loves beauty. I got interested right away. But then, I thought of Zhang Sai and deflated. Oh, your brother's home. She grinned. He's not home today. I perked up again. So, we headed out arm in arm, happy as clams. I just crawled through the dog hole when I saw a pair of gold-embroidered black boots. I looked up into those cold, rippling eyes. Where are you going? I deflated instantly. The second young lady crawled out of another dog hole, all excited. I'm going to get the best-looking guy. She didn't finish. She met Zhang Sai's gaze. She swallowed hard and smoothly continued. The best-looking lady to make clothes and buy jewelry. I'm going with her. I was on the verge of tears, shakily pulling dog tail grass out of my hair. It's cold. I don't have enough clothes. Jiang Sai's gaze swept over me. I'm going out too. Let's go together. The second young lady and I said at the same time, no need. He narrowed his eyes slightly. We both lowered our heads. Okay. In the carriage, 3 silent faces. I awkwardly pick at the wall. Miss lifts the curtain to look outside. Suddenly her eyes light up. She greets someone outside. Jingwen. Another carriage pulls up beside us. Inside is Su Jingwen. She responds to second miss. You're out getting new clothes too. The second miss nods right away. She turns to Jiang Sai and says, Big brother, I'll go sit with Jingwen. Jiang Sai nods. Escape like her life depends on it. I grab her sleeve immediately. You're not staying with me. She gives me a look that says I'm on my own. I miss Jingwen. Sorry about this. Once she's gone, I slowly scoot across from Jiang Sai, keeping my distance. He's so still and silent. I keep feeling like he sees right through everything. And he's secretly plotting how to punish me. Just then, he glances at me coldly. I'm instantly scared out of my wits. He lets out a cold laugh, then looks away, holding a hand warmer, leaning against the carriage wall with his eyes closed. Is he letting me off the hook? After a long while with no action, I quietly breathe a sigh of relief. The carriage moves smoothly, like sailing alone on a calm sea. I'm getting drowsy too, so I close my eyes. But then, darkness falls, a sudden violent jolt. Caught off guard, I pitch forward. His arm catches me in time, but looking down, the position makes my face burn. He's sitting, I'm half kneeling, foreheads lightly touching, like worshipping a deity. This cold deity now has the scalding warmth of a human. Looking down, his usually cold gaze turns burning hot. I didn't mean to. I feel like I'm rushing straight to my death. In the darkness, I can't see his expression clearly. I can only feel his chaotic, hot breath and his tense muscles. Am I not satisfying you? He says each word slowly, deliberately, that you need to find a male escort. My scalp tingles. My voice starts shaking. You heard all that. To disappoint you, my hearing and sight are fine for now. The carriage keeps moving through the darkness, the cold winter night completely shut out. The cramped carriage is like a boiling teapot, hissing steam, scalding and humid. He takes out a white handkerchief, methodically wiping my reddened lips. Remember this, we must be faithful to each other. Gradually, a few scattered lantern lights fall through the window. He pulls me onto his lap, his expression back to normal. Sleep a bit. Bright lights, bustling voices drifting in on the wind. All unknown indulgences hidden in the darkness. Both carriages stop in front of the silk shop. Second Miss looks at me and asks strangely, why are your lips so red? My face warms. I put on more rouge. Which brand? The color's gorgeous. I make up a lie. Then I glare at Jiang Sai. He meets my gaze, calm and collected. Brows relaxed, looking satisfied. My face flushes. Just then, Second Miss shouts in one direction. Oh, second brother. Looking up, I see Zhang Tingyi stepping out of a sedan chair. He's dressed in fine furs and jade belt, holding a folding fan. Looking at us with smiling eyes. What a coincidence. His gaze shifts to Su Zhenwan. Playing the gentleman, Miss Su, good to see you. One look and I know this is no coincidence. Zhang Tingyi definitely had someone tell Su Zhenwan. But it's one-sided. Su Zhenwan doesn't even look at him. She keeps glancing at Jiang Sai. Instantly, I have this urge to hide Jiang Sai away. Why so distracted? Jiang Sai picks up on my wondering mind right away. I look at that quiet yet alluring face of his and pout. Too many admirers. The shopkeeper comes over eagerly. Miss, why not try the floating light brocade? It's our treasure. The fabric is silky smooth to the touch. From afar it looks like glowing clouds. Up close it shimmers. Very popular. Silky. I'm immediately interested. I sneak a glance at Zhang Sai's hand hanging at his side. Those long fingers, sometimes quite demanding, like to rip things. My face heats up. How much for a whole set? 500 taels at least. I feel my purse. Letting him rip it would be too wasteful. I snuff out the thought immediately. Just then someone from the estate comes looking for Zhang Sai. Documents arrived from the capital that need handling. Jiang Sai has to leave. Before going, he looks at me. If you like it, buy it. Put it on my account. Second Miss claps with joy. Big brother's the best. My heart booms. I walk to his side and whisper flirtatiously, I'll wear it for you tonight. His handsome features remain refined. His eyes flicker. Voice low. Want to rip it. Secretly thinking something and hearing it said aloud are two different things. Instantly, my face burns. I cover it and run away, mortified. Since the floating light brocade is precious, it's usually kept upstairs by special staff. So we follow the shopkeeper up to the upper floor. Ting is such a jerk. He tells Second Miss the floating light brocade makes her look dark. He drives Second Miss away, with her gone. He insults me too. You'd look tacky in floating light brocade. Only a goddess like Miss Su could bring out the elegance of floating light brocade. So Jingwen blushes at his words. She glances at him. Not really. I can't be bothered with his nonsense. I brush him off. Oh, forget it then. I'm leaving. Watching Jiang Tingyi and Su Jingwen disappear from sight, I quickly find an attendant. I take another staircase up, avoiding them, heading to the top floor. Please, I'm trying on floating light brocade to please his brother. Not for this jerk. The fitting room is a private chamber with excellent soundproofing. Inside there are some pastries and a soft couch. When tired from trying things on, I can eat pastries, drink tea, lie down and rest. While the attendant has to serve other customers, I'm lying comfortably. Getting a bit sleepy, so I just tell her to lock the door. I'll ring the bell when I need her. Don't know what's going on. I've been sleeping so much lately. I doze off while lying there. When I wake up, it's already dusk. Like burning clouds. The window glows faintly red. I rub my eyes, shuffle in my shoes toward the bell to call someone. At the door, I suddenly smell a sharp burning odor. My heart sinks. Looking through the door crack, I see flames towering outside. Piles of fabric burning and crackling. I panic and ring the bell frantically, yelling for someone to open the door. But no one answers, with the fire raging. Everyone's busy escaping. No one remembers me. Choking smoke rolls in. I cough violently. I tear up some silk, soak it with tea, and cover my mouth and nose. Then suddenly, everything spins. My vision darkens, my lower abdomen aches faintly. Like my period started, my whole body feels weak, my hands and feet go cold. Fear grips my throat. No, I don't want to die. I grit my teeth, drag my weak body to move a stool, and use all my strength to bash the door. I feel like crying, I haven't even enjoyed wealth and luxury yet. Dying like this, I really can't accept it. I pinned my thigh hard to stay conscious. Driven by a fierce will to survive, I bash the door with all I have. Finally, it collapses. I breathe a sigh of relief, drenched in sweat. I lean on the doorframe, stumbling out weakly. But outside is also a dead end. The fire is unnaturally fierce. The stairway to escape is a sea of flames. My vision keeps going dark. I can't see the path. My whole body is weak. Burning beams crash down all around. Trapped with no way out, I can only huddle in a corner, bend over, clutch my belly, trying to ease the pain. Darkness and fire alternate in my blurred vision. I think I'm going to die. On the brink of death, I'm filled with regrets. I never got to spend Jiang-Sai's fortune. I never got to show him me in floating light brocade. My mind wanders, then I suddenly remember what he said in the carriage about us being faithful to each other. Faithful to each other. I smile inexplicably. But then I remember he went to Tianxiang Tower last time. He spent 10,000 taels buying a courtesan's first night. Faithful to each other. He's lying to me, that refined scoundrel. My nerves throb. Maybe I'm delirious from the heat. I get angrier and angrier. 10,000 taels, even if I bought tons of floating light brocade, it wouldn't cost that much. How did I never think about this before? This question haunting me before death makes me die with my eyes open. Lost in thought, I start hallucinating. I hear his cold voice calling my name. Zhao Yingying. The hallucination gets stronger. I even see Zhang Sai. His deep, handsome face lit up by firelight. The small mole between his brows vivid like a fishing light in sea fog. Silvery moonlight pours in through the window, like waves gently rolling over midnight reefs. Zhang Sai just calmly crosses through the ruins and sea of fire, walking toward me with determined steps. My breathing gets tighter and tighter. Surrounded by fire, it also feels like being in a magnificent dream. Not until I'm pulled into his broad shoulders, hearing his heavy, deep heartbeat, do I suddenly feel a sense of reality. Angry and aggrieved, I clutch his arm. Zhang Sai, why did you spend 10,000 taels buying a courtesan's first night? I don't know why, I just start crying pathetically. Feeling so wrong, I demand compensation. I want 10,000 taels too. He wraps me tightly in a fire-resistant cloak. I was investigating a case. That courtesan was important. I wanted to test her. Thanks to you, the investigation failed. She died suddenly that night. I'm so shocked I forget to cry. Your job's so dangerous. Will it drag me down? He sighs and points at the fire. Zhao Yingying, maybe you should worry about the immediate danger first. Brief silence. I grab his arm tight. Okay, let's just escape. Thinking about it, still uneasy, I ask again. You had to pay that 10,000 taels yourself. Being an official like that, you're taking a huge loss. Zhang Sai closes his eyes. The government paid. I wipe my tears. Sniffle. That's good then. That's good. Seeing he's not moving, I pat his arm. Anxious. Why are you dawdling? Let's go. He looks at me, closes his eyes like he's accepted his fate. Yes, I'm dawdling. My mistake. Zhang Sai is like an eternal snow mountain, standing there calmly. As long as you look back, he's there, making you feel utterly safe. I hug his neck tightly, bury my face in his chest. Before we're even out of the fire, I let myself pass out. Because Zhang Sai is here. I know I won't die. When I wake up, it's midnight. Zhang Tingyi is sitting leisurely beside me. Like a ghost. He scares me half to death. What's wrong with you? Zhang Tingyi's eyes look tired, staring straight at me with a strange expression. Congratulations, you're pregnant. I arranged a physician. Everyone knows the child is my father's now. I'm struck like by lightning. How to put it, the plan succeeded. I'm about to get my share of the estate. But I feel no joy. Because this means I have no reason to be with Jiang Sai anymore. I pause. Where's Jiang Sai? Is he okay? Zhang Tingyi sneers coldly. He's badly hurt, still unconscious. Hearing this, I immediately get up to go see Jiang Sai. Zhang Tingyi grabs my wrist. You don't need to see him anymore. I freeze. Zhang Tingyi toys with an embroidered pouch in his hand. So Jingwan agreed to marry me. Turns out, when the fire was fierce, Jiang Tingyi rushed into the building in time to save the trapped Su Jingwan. People in desperate situations fall easiest for their rescuer. Looking at Zhang Tingyi, I suddenly realize something. You started the fire. He doesn't confirm. Just to play the hero. Zhang Tingyi smiles. It worked, didn't it? I raise my hand and slap him hard across the face. You're absolutely insane. I suddenly realize I don't know Zhang Tingyi at all. He's way more complicated than he seems. Zhang Tingyi licked his lips and grabbed my chin hard. I told you not to go. You just wouldn't listen. What choice did I have? Zhao Yinyin, I never wronged you. I knew you were in there. I rushed to save you, but I was just a step too late. He laughed coldly. Forget it. Let's just end it here. Zhou Yinyin, stop getting tangled up with my brother. Just take care of that baby and enjoy your rich life. I felt uneasy. I wanted to see Zhang Sai. Zhang Tingyi narrowed his eyes. Is he that important to you? I pressed my lips together. I didn't want to explain to Zhang Tingyi that strange flutter I felt for Zhang Sai. But Zhang Tingyi seemed to sense something. He said coldly, Zhao Yingying, do you know what happens when a concubine gets involved with the eldest son? My heart sank. Of course I knew. I took that risk for wealth and status. And now, the plan worked. Time to cut ties and keep the child. Besides, if I kept messing around with Jiang Sai, Once exposed, it wouldn't just ruin me, it ruined Zhang Sai too. This man who rushed into a fire to save me. No matter how heartless I am, I can't keep dragging him down. I let out a breath. I get it, Zhang Tingyi. Does this mean you can stop sneaking through my window? We both got what we wanted. Time to end this deal. That's how it should be. But sorry, when I found out you were trapped, I actually worried. Zhao Yingying, I'm sorry, I can't let you go. I couldn't believe it. Did the fire mess with your head? Outing Tingji looked unusually serious. No, death made me see how I really feel. What about Su Jingwen? You like her, don't you? Who said that? I glared at him. Don't forget, you had me seduce your brother just to get Su Jingwen. Zhang Tingji smiled coldly. I only said I'd marry her. Never said I liked her. I was speechless. All I could do was cover my face in mud. Zhang Tingyi, you really are a piece of work. Zhang Tingyi shrugged, unbothered. We're birds of a feather. Pretty good match, right? I had nothing to say. Zhang Sai woke up. I didn't go see him, but he came looking for me. Why didn't you come find me? I felt guilty. You probably heard already. He pressed his brow. I need to hear it from you. I had no choice but to lie. I'm carrying your father's child. You'll be my child's brother. We can't keep doing this. He closed his eyes, holding back every emotion. I don't care. I was stunned. Are you still out of it? His eyes were cold, but his emotions burned like fire. You think I'm like you? I shot back. How is that not an insult? The fire in his eyes dimmed a bit, and his tone softened. I forget it. After the new year I'll go back to the capital and wrap things up. We'll go to the fruit. Nobody will know us there. We'll get married. My mind was reeling. He looked at me, completely calm. I'll love your father's child as my own. If you're worried I'll play favorites, then we won't have more. One is enough. Your child won't call me brother. They'll call me father. I struggled to find words in my shock. Do you hear yourself right now? He didn't waver one bit. If there's anything I haven't thought of, tell me. I'll handle it. For a moment, I was so tempted. But the last thread of reason held me back. A man who used to have everything was about to throw it all away for someone like me. No, I can't let that happen. I said slowly, I'm sorry, it sounds tempting, but it's too dangerous. The room went quiet, the light flickered, his expression hardened, and his voice went cold. When you started this, didn't you think about the consequences? I acted on impulse. He laughed bitterly. You said you fell for me at first sight. That you were lovesick, that it consumed you, all just impulse. Maybe it was the cold, piercing look in his eyes. I stepped back. But from the start, you said you'd never love me. You said it was impossible. Now I'm giving up. Isn't that better for everyone? He watched me back away, his expression darkening. But he kept his emotions in check. So this is punishment? Because I didn't fall for you fast enough. I pressed my lips shut. He collected himself. How can I make it up to you? Tell me, punish me however you want. Just don't say things you don't mean. If I kept talking, I cave. I took a deep breath and went cold. I'm not joking. I went after you because I was bored. It was a whim. Now I'm tired of it. And I'm already carrying your father's child. I've got bigger things to deal with. I don't have time to mess around with you anymore. The air around him went heavy. A whim. I looked down, avoiding his gaze. Yes. Messing around with me. Is that all it was? You were just a distraction. At first, winning you over was fun. But now I'm bored. Sorry, I really don't want to keep this up. If he thinks I'm awful, maybe he'll finally give up. His face went pale as death. So I was just imagining things. My chest felt like it was pierced with ice, numb and aching. Zhao Yingying, you got your wish. I won't bother you again. He picked up his lantern and left. Calm, cold, without hesitation. He walked toward the bright, glowing lights ahead. While behind me, the courtyard grew darker. Light always plays favorites. I stood there until his figure disappeared. Then I dragged myself back into the dark courtyard. Fireworks rang in the new year. New Year's Eve arrived in a blink. That night, everyone gathered in the hall. Wine, snacks, card games, firecrackers. Lanterns, laughter everywhere. I sat with grandmother and the others, playing cards. I was losing badly. Second Miss volunteered to stand behind me and coach. She played a tile and instantly let 3 people win. I stared at Second Miss. Second Miss scratched her head. Let me get you a better coat. Wait here. Just then, someone pushed through the curtain. Second Miss called out, Brother, come help her out. My heart tightened. I thought it was Zhang Sai. But I heard Zhang Tingyi laugh. You troublemaker. You messed up again, didn't you? Second Miss giggled and dragged Zhang Tingyi behind me. I couldn't stand Zhang Tingyi, but in front of everyone, I had to act nice. I'd have to admit though, he stood there with his arms crossed, giving orders. Before long, he helped me win a whole pile of money. I grinned. Fine. This guy's good for something. Might as well use him for now. Grandmother laughed. Well then, I need a coach too. She brought in Zhang Sai. I hadn't seen him in days. He looked thinner, even more serious, even colder. Even during the holiday, there wasn't a trace of cheer in his expression, just coldness. I was distracted and played a tile without thinking. His long, pale fingers pushed forward, no expression. I win. Jang Tingy tapped the table. Hey, focus. Don't just hand over everything I won for you, okay? Another unstart. The clatter of tiles sounded like the chaos in my heart. I shook my head. I couldn't focus on Jang Tingy's advice. I played another tile. Zhang Sai's flat voice came again. I win. A few rounds later, total defeat. Zhang Sai won all my money. Revenge. He was getting revenge. I got up from the table feeling miserable and sat to the side eating candied fruit. Looking at my empty pouch, I felt just as empty inside. Out of the corner of my eye, Zhang Sai left the table too. He sat as far from me as possible, drinking tea. Little fifth miss climbed onto him. Brother, I want sunflower seeds. Zhang Sai held her on his lap and calmly shelled seeds. His long, pale fingers cracked them gently, revealing the plump kernels inside. I stared without thinking. Fifth miss noticed, grabbed a handful of the shelled seeds Zhang Sai prepared, and ran over to me. If you want some, here, I'll have brother shell more from me. My face went red. I was about to say no, but Zhang Sai's cold gaze looked over. Not friendly, accusing. Like I was so terrible, I'd even trick a child. I remembered my empty money pouch and felt stubborn. I held out my hand. Thanks, fifth. I ignored Zhang Sai's stare, picked up a plum kernel, bit down, and savored the tasty. Zhang Sai looked away. He tossed the handful of kernels to the dog at his feet. Suddenly the seeds didn't taste so good anymore. After a while, grandmother and the others got tired of car. They called us over to sit by the fire and chat. Grandmother, like all doting mothers, worried about her children's future during the holidays. This boy still hasn't shown interest in anyone. I'm starting to think he doesn't like women. I had just taken a sip of hot tea. I couldn't hold it in. I sprayed it out and soaked my clothes. Everyone stared at me. Well, only I've seen Zhang Sai's aggressive side. I couldn't explain. I just awkwardly muttered, I wouldn't say that. Zhang Sai, sitting not far off, shot me a cold glance. I panicked and stood up, making an excuse to change clothes and escaped. Going back to my own courtyard would take too long, so I asked second miss for clean clothes. I was going to change in second miss's room, but she had narcissus flowers in there. The smell made me nauseous, so I went to fifth miss's room instead. Halfway through changing, I heard someone push the door open. First, fifth miss's sleepy voice. Brother, I'm not sleeping yet. I want firecrackers. Zhang Sai's voice followed. Sleep now. Brother will take you when you wake up. Zhang Sai was putting fifth miss to bed. My heart jumped. I looked down. Half dressed behind the screen, I had no choice. I clutched my clothes and quietly slipped into a cabinet, gently closing the door. His footsteps came closer. Through the crack, I saw Zhang Sai walk past the screen. He placed fifth miss on the bed, tucked her in, sat for a moment, and when she fell asleep, got up to leave. I breathed a sigh of relief, but then he frowned. He looked down. My tassel hairpin had fallen on the floor. I froze. His gaze landed on the cabinet I was hiding in. My palms were sweating. I silently prayed he wouldn't come closer. But my prayers were useless. He walked over calmly. Just a door between us, I could almost feel his breath. He lowered his eyes, hesitating, struggling with something. Finally, like some overwhelming emotion took over, he reached out and grabbed the handle. I held my breath. His long fingers calmly pulled open the door. He saw me. His gaze deepened. I covered myself, biting my lip. My clothes got wet. I was changing. He said nothing. Those eyes rippled coldly, staring at me in silence. Like a sweltering summer night, I felt covered in sticky sweat. I took a deep breath, but my chest heaved even more from the tension. Moonlight like snow, pink petals dewy and delicate, a soft breeze, and the shy bud trembled, tender and moist, about to bloom. The door outside rattled just then. Is fifth miss asleep? It was fifth Mrs. Nanny. If someone else saw me like this with Zhang Sai, it'd be a disaster. In sheer panic, I grabbed at Zhang Sai's collar and pulled him into the cramped cabinet. He was forced to bend down. His burning breath hit my ear. Goosebumps ran all over me. I felt like I was in scalding fire or drowning in an endless sea. There are no words, let's just say it was a living hell. His eyes landed on the sheer fabric clinging to my body. His look was cold, like he was sizing me up, judging me. I was burning with shame, and he just watched. 沾纸蒸 sweat, I mouthed the words. Too hot, it's just sweat. He raised an eyebrow, his long fingers reaching out. I gasped. He sees right through people. He didn't push it. If you say so. He tossed me a handkerchief, casual as ever. Not gonna wipe it off. My face exploded like a firecracker, bright red. Appearing one after the other with Zhang Sai. Zhang Tingy looked at me, suspicious. When no one was looking, Zhang Tingy pretended to grab candied fruit, bent down. He got close to me, voice low. Where'd you go? You were gone forever. I thought back to that scene in the wardrobe. My throat tightened. I just went to change my clothes. You're way too nosy. Zhang Tingy's eyes lingered on my neck. Where'd you change? Second Mrs. Room. Just then, second Miss's voice came from behind me. Miss, weren't you supposed to come to my room to change? How come I didn't see you? Jiang Tingyi's gaze turned ice cold. A chill ran down my spine. Jiang Tingyi pointed at a lantern bat. His tone was ominous. Miss, don't you want to go light a river lantern? Before I could finish, he threatened me in a low voice. That doctor I got for you, his mouth's not so tight. I flinched. I grabbed the lantern real quick, called out to second Miss. Let's go, let's light lanterns and pray. With second Miss there, Jiang Tingyi can't do anything to me, right? Out of the corner of my eye, Jiang Tingyi smiled. It wasn't friendly. He grabbed the lantern and followed us out. Down by the river, the crowd thinned out. Nearby, Fei Qiu stretched out. I just crouched down to set my lantern in the water when Jiang Tingyi spoke up. Miss, you dropped your earring. I felt around, didn't really care. But Jiang Tingyi gave me a look, nodding toward the dark Fei Qius. Go look for it. Before I could even open my mouth, he mouthed the word, Doctor. Second Miss said she'd help me look, but just as she said it, her lantern got blown out by a strange gust of wind. Jili, second sister, a lantern going out is bad luck. You go light it again. I'll go with Miss. Bonice, deep Bonice. I walk into the Fei Qius with my lantern, a lump in my throat the whole time. Jiang Tingyi followed me like a ghost I couldn't shake. As soon as we turned deeper into the hills, the rocks hid us from view. Jiang Tingyi grabbed my wrist, pulled me toward him. I was terrified, but I had to keep my voice down. Jiang Tingyi, what are you doing? He ordered me to hold the lantern up higher. He was checking. I was shaking with anger. Aren't you supposed to marry Su Jingwen? Didn't anyone ever teach you to be faithful? Jiang Tingyi laughed, like he'd heard the funniest joke. Faithful? Who taught you that? I opened my mouth, couldn't find the words. For someone like me to talk about faithfulness, yeah, it was pretty absurd. Right then, I realized just how much Jiang Sai had influenced me without me even noticing. I actually believed what he believed. My brother again. Maybe we need to get closer before you'll actually see me. This is insane. I pushed him with all my strength. But he pinned me against the wall. He locked my struggling hands with one of his. With his other hand he gripped my jaw, forced me to take it. Just then, a cold voice came from the entrance to the hills. Wan, are you in there? I shoved Jiang Tingyi away, grabbed my lantern, and ran toward that voice. I called out. It's me, not Wan. At the entrance, lanterns glowed like fog, through the haze. I locked eyes with Jiang Sai, cold as always. His eyes moved to my wrist, his gaze darkened. I looked down. My clothes were a mess. Where a man had grabbed my wrist, there were marks. My heart jumped. I started making excuses. I dropped my earring, was looking for it in there, too dark. I bumped into something. Jiang Sai cut me off, no emotion in his voice. What you're doing, I don't care. I froze, pulled my sleeve down, covered my wrist, voice low. You're here for Wan, right? She's by the river, lighting lanterns. He turned away, headed for the river. The river was crowded. I could avoid Jiang Tingyi there. So I followed behind him with my lantern. He stopped. He looked at me, cold as ice. Why are you following me? I'm not following you. I also want to light a lantern and pray. His phoenix eyes lowered. Distant. Not looking for earring anymore. No, before I could finish, Jiang Tingyi, who caught up, cut me off. He smiled. It wasn't nice. Miss, why'd you run off so fast? Don't you want your earring? I looked. Jiang Tingyi was holding my jade earrings. My face went white. Messy clothes, marks on my wrist. My earrings in a man's hand. All of us in the fake hills. It looked bad no matter how you sliced it. I nervously watched Jiang Sai. He stood with his back to the moonlight, his face sharp and cold in the shadows, his features cutting. He didn't say a word, but there was this terrifying pressure. I was quick to distance myself from Jiang Tingyi. Where'd you find it? I looked forever and couldn't. Jiang Tingyi's smile got worse. Miss, you're always so careless. When you're having fun, you forget everything. He said it on purpose, wanted people to get the wrong idea. I was shaking with anger. Out of the corner of my eye, Jiang Sai's lips into a line. His eyes, sharp as knives, landed on those damn earrings. I reached out to grab them. Thanks, second master, you can give them back now. But Jiang Tingyi stepped back. I'd used too much force. I stumbled forward, like I was throwing myself at him. Jiang Tingyi's smile widened. I was terrified. Just then, a strong hand grabbed the back of my collar. Yanked me back hard, fierce, ruthless. My heart was pounding. Once I was steady, I turned around. Met Jiang Sai's icy, emotionless phoenix eyes. He let go, his voice flat as morning mist. You're pregnant. Settle down. I was mortified. First time being pregnant, so I figured I should learn more about staying healthy. I remember Jiang Sai had some medical books in his study. So when Jiang Sai wasn't around, I snuck into his study. Flipped through one. Found a shocking warning. No intimacy in the first 3 months. My heart sank. The little one being okay was pure luck. Just then, I heard 2 men's voices outside. One was Jiang Sai. The other sounded familiar, but I couldn't place it. They were about to come in. I thought about Jiang Sai's ice-cold stare. Got scared, ducked under the desk real quick. They came in. Jiang Sai and the guy talked about boring politics. I was falling asleep. Then the other guy asked, hesitant, Brother Jing, Pardon me, but is sixth miss of your household already married? Sixth miss? The guy chuckled. Brother Zhang, remember when I accidentally wandered into your plum grove? I startled a young lady. She fell out of a tree. I panicked, forgot about propriety, and helped her up. I remembered this guy. He was the one who called me elegant. No way he actually believed I was sixth miss. With my loose reputation, how do I look like a refined young lady? Guys got no eye. Just then, I heard Jiang Sai's voice turn cold. You mean her? His tone was full of contempt. P.S. Not to embarrass myself, Brother Zhang, but that meeting in the plum grove, just a glimpse. If sixth miss isn't married yet, I'd like to ask for her hand. My mouth twitched. Bad feeling. I heard Jiang Sai laugh coldly. Brother Gu, the sixth miss you're talking about is concubine Zhao. My father's concubine. Right now she's pregnant with my father's child. She's playful. Likes to mess with people. She said she was sixth miss. Probably just playing around. Brother Gu, don't hold it against her. I apologize on her behalf. Gu Boyan looked devastated. He left soon after. The study went quiet. I didn't know what Jiang Sai was doing. I lifted the cloth a little to peek out. Just then, Jiang Sai suddenly swept all the teacups off the desk like he was venting. The crash nearly made my heart jump out of my chest. Sharp shards flew, cutting his clean, porcelain face, leaving a long, bright red mark. He didn't react, standing there with his back to the light like a god in an abandoned temple. Betrayed by the world, no offerings given. Overtaken by cobwebs and vines. After endless years of despair, fallen into darkness. Surrounded by this dark, oppressive aura, scary. I covered my mouth, didn't dare make a sound. Walked over to the bookshelf, pushed open the hidden compartment, bottles of liquor appeared. He grabbed the bottle, sat on the floor, eyes lowered. Poured it down his throat, no restraint. Surprised. I'd hung out in his study forever. Never knew he kept liquor. Never saw him this wrecked. Jiang Sai seemed drunk. He closed his eyes. Leaned his head back against the wall, didn't move. His jaw silent and cold. I could only escape now. To avoid waking him, I took off my shoes, held them. Tiptoed, step by step, toward the door. The second my hand touched the latch, a chill ran down my neck. A strong arm wrapped around my waist from behind. Hot breath landed on my neck. His cool, soft lips came down without warning. My scalp tingled. I gasped, Jiang Sai. He didn't say a word, just kissed me hard. Only times like this, you're behaved. His rough voice poured into my ear. Tingles shot through my bones. I shivered. He laid me down on the couch. His body was cool. I shivered. Then I remembered the warning in the medical book. Snapped back to reality, desire gone cold. Jiang Sai, no. Thankfully, he had incredible restraint and decency. He slowly stopped kissing me, held back his desire. Let out a low sound, his breath cold with alcohol. I really wanna lock. You are. His face went white. He frowned. But you'd be unhappy. His voice got quieter, like snow falling on winter ground. Hidden and lonely. I have no way to deal with you. He rested against my shoulder, held me quietly, his large hand covering my belly. Protective and possessive. In the quiet embrace, that violent energy in him faded. The harsh north wind stayed outside. My forehead rested against his warm chest. I had to admit, this man gave off a dangerous kind of safety. Gradually, the weight on my shoulder got heavier. He didn't move, still as a hibernating lion. Too quiet. I was confused, nudged him, Jiang Sai. The only answer I got was steady breathing. He'd fallen asleep. I realized. He'd been drunk, out of it. That's why he got close to me. Once he sobered up, he'd probably go back to looking at me with contempt. At that thought, I couldn't stay another second. I pushed his hand away quick, got out of there. Jiang Sai was heading back to the capital after the Lantern Festival. Who knew when I'd see him again? So now, every glance I stole felt like watching the last glow of fading fireworks, knowing it could go dark any second. On Lantern Festival night, Jiang Sai took his sisters out. Second miss invited me along. I said yes. This was the last night with Jiang Sai. I spent serious money on a dress, hoping to catch even a flicker of interest in his eyes before he left. On the day of the festival, I got up before dawn, sat in front of the mirror doing my makeup. Powder lipstick, trying 100 looks, put more effort in than on my wedding day. I really wanted to make a good impression on Jiang. All dressed up, the woman in the mirror had her hair tied, her eyes bright and expressive. Beautiful lotus rising from green water. I was anxious yet excited. The dim moonlight, like aged parchment, knocked gently at the window. I heard the second young lady's laughter. I heard her properly greeting her older brother. I ran to the window without any restraint. Quietly pushed it open and peeked at the man waiting below. Blue robe, a white jade pin in his hair, standing in the dim moonlight. Hands clasped behind back like a silhouette sketched in faint ink from an old book carved into a memory cast in iron. I couldn't help but smile. The second young lady noticed me spying. She didn't hold back her praise, her eyes shining as she exclaimed, "Miss, you look absolutely gorgeous." Jiang Sai's gaze followed her exclamation and swept over to me. I felt myself hold my breath for a moment, anxious to the extreme. I felt like a criminal awaiting judgment. Would he like it? Would he look at me a few more times tonight? Branches trembled slightly. The moonlight was easily torn apart, scattering like paper scraps. Jiang Sai glanced at me coldly, like looking at a stranger. Not a ripple. I felt the little flame in my heart instantly die out. He picked up Xiao Wu and said to the second young lady, "Let's go." I tugged at my embroidered silk dress, feeling awkward. Dressed so fancy I looked like someone making a fool of herself in public. But there was no time to change. No one would wait for me. I hurried downstairs, grabbed my lantern, and rushed to catch up. I had hoped to get along peacefully with Jiang Sai on this last night and make some happy memories. At least it would be a nice ending to look back on. I was delusional. Even while walking together, Jiang Sai never looked at me again. Occasionally when I laughed and chatted with the other girls, I secretly hoped he'd say a word or two, but whenever I joined the conversation, he stayed silent. Every time I caught up to him, he'd stride away with his long legs, carrying the fifth young lady somewhere else, always keeping his distance from me. Even if I was slow on the uptake, I could pretty much figure out how he felt. He had been in a good mood, taking his sisters out to have fun. But my presence cast a shadow over the beautiful Lantern Festival night. Seeing me annoyed him. He probably wished I'd disappear. Just then, a wave of people surged forward, separating me from the group ahead. I struggled like I was drowning. No one noticed I'd fallen behind. The man's figure up ahead grew more and more distant. I sighed, gave up, and just wandered off in the other direction with my lantern. Everyone on the street had company, either big happy families or shy young couples. I watched with envy, stroking my still, flat belly. By next Lantern Festival, someone would be with me. Eventually I wandered to a game booth with arrow throwing. The prize was a gold safety locket, looked pretty heavy, probably worth 80 or 100 taels. I was tempted. Our custom is for fathers to have a safety locket made for their newborn child. The little one in my belly has no fat. Guess I'll have to win one for it myself as its mother. The rules were 5 taels per round, 5 arrows per round. You had to hit all 5 to win the prize. Played a full 10 rounds. On the last one I was 1 arrow away from hitting them all. I was like a fish on the hook, anxiously calling for another round. Reached in my pocket. Empty. How about credit? Miss, that jade hairpin in your hair could cover it. Just like that, I got conned. The hairpin, the bracelet, all gone. In no time, all gone. Just 1 pair of earrings left. I was getting frustrated when I heard Xiao Wu's clear, bow-like voice behind me. Miss, my brother and I have been looking for you forever. Wang. Jiang Sai was holding Xiao Wu, his sharp gaze fixed on me. That look pinned me in place instantly. You came with me. If you got lost, I couldn't explain it. He found me a bother. Truth is, I already regretted coming with him. He was annoyed, and so was I. I was quiet for a moment. I'm a grown woman. I won't get lost. You could get scammed. I'm the one who scams people. If it's not willing, you think you can scam anyone? And just then, the vendor settled up and asked, Miss, you playing or not? How about putting up those earrings too? Pulen. The bracelet. You lost them all? I pressed my lips together, a bit embarrassed. I'd lost face in front of him. Whatever image I had left was gone. Sir, you're here for your wife, right? She really wants the safety locket prize. Why don't you win it for her and make her happy? Adding fuel to the fire. I snapped. Are you blind? How do I look like his wife? We have nothing to do with each other. You heard her. She and I have nothing to do with each other. The atmosphere got ice cold. The vendor seemed to sense something and quietly backed away. Just then, Xiao Wu tugged at Jiang Sai's sleeve. Acting key big brother, I want the safety locket. The ice melted instantly. No one could refuse a sweet little Xiao Wu. Jiang Sai handed 10 taels of silver to the vendor. I looked at that vendor's sneaky grin. My head suddenly cleared. I said coolly to Jiang Sai, don't play. You won't hit it no matter how you try. I tried already, played dozens of rounds. Always 1 arrow short. I think he rigged the arrows. He ignored me, threw 1 round, 1 arrow short, lost. The vendor grinned happily. So close, sir. Next round you'll definitely win. I admit, I felt a bit small. Young master, I just warned you. Xiao Wu, your brother will have one made for you at the goldsmith's. I'm done playing. Well, he knows when to quit. The vendor panicked. Sir, how about this? I'll add more to the prize. Your wife and little sister both love this safety locket. You don't want to disappoint them, do you? Let's hear it. Long safety locket, plus 50 taels. Without a word he picked up Xiao Wu and started to leave. The vendor desperately blocked him. Sir, what do you want? 100 taels per round. Huh. You poor. Prize has to include the money and jewelry she lost. Alright, I'll consider it making a friend of you, sir. I clearly saw the vendor turn away to cover his mouth and snicker. How is Jiang Sai this easy to fool too? Whatever, he's the one who looks stupid. The last arrow. The vendor grinned. Sir, careful now. Just 1 more arrow. Jiang Sai tossed the arrow in his hand, narrowed his eyes slightly, looking focused. Next moment the wind cut through the air. Thunk, the arrow hit dead center. The vendor's steady smile cracked instantly, shattered. My expression, ready to watch the show, also froze. How did you do that? The arrows were rigged. Just swap them behind the vendor's back. So you lost the first round on purpose. You pretended to leave to bait the vendor. Not so dumb now. I was annoyed, but when did you swap them? My shadow guard swapped them. So, you even used misdirection. I scratched my head. All this fuss over a safety locket. Whatever she wants, I'll go all out to get it for her. No matter the value. I have to say, being protected by Jiang Sai must be really nice. I had nothing to say. I glanced enviously at the safety locket in Xisha Wu's hand, then quickly looked away. Picked up my lantern and told Jiang Sai, well, I won't bother you. You guys have fun. I'll go wander around. No. I looked at him, confused. He pressed his lips together, slowly released his grip, and said stubbornly, Xiao Wu's been asking for you since earlier. As an elder, you can't just think about yourself. I had to ask Xiao Wu, do you want to play with me? Xiao Wu nodded hard. You smell nice and you're soft. Xiao Wu likes you. I tapped her nose and smiled. Our Xiao Wu really knows how to sweet talk. I'm not sweet talking. Xiao Wu means it. But the Xiao Wu turned to Jiang Sai. Brother, don't you think she smells nice and she's soft and comfy to hold? My gaze collided with Jiang Sai's cold one. An awkwardness rose like steam. My face warmed. He looked away, gazing elsewhere, pretending he didn't hear. Brother, why won't you say anything? Does she smell nice? Is she soft? I opened my mouth, wanting to say something. His voice was raspy like rolling gravel. How would your brother know? Xiao Wu blinked her big blue eyes. Why doesn't brother know? Jiang Sai and I both fell silent. She thought for a moment, her eyes lighting up. Xiao Wu knows, because brother's a grown-up and doesn't need to be held. But Xiao Wu isn't lying. Brother, just hug her once and you'll know Xiao Wu is telling the truth. I was so embarrassed I wanted to dig a hole and crawl in. I quickly distracted Xiao Wu. Xiao Wu, I'll buy you candied hawthorn. Luckily kids are easy. Once Xiao Wu got the candied hawthorn, she forgot all about it. All happy and so sweet, offering me a bite. Have some. I took a small bite. Next thing I knew, she offered it to her dear brother. Brother, you chew. Jiang Sai pressed his lips tight, looking resistant. My throat tightened. Xiao Wu, your brother doesn't like sweets. You're lying. Brother loves sweets. I was getting a headache when Jiang Sai lowered his head. He silently took a bite from the same spot I'd bitten. I stared at him, stunned. The bright red sugar glaze clung to his pale lips. A contradictory mix of restraint and temptation. My heart skipped a beat. He met my gaze, his fingertips slowly wiping his soft lips, explaining casually. I'm just humoring her. Right, of course I wouldn't flatter myself. Just then, a lazy male voice drifted over. So you're all here. Zhen Tianyi. He snapped his fan shut and walked over. I instantly felt the air around us grow cold. He blatantly eyed my belly, sighing like he had a headache. Why aren't you resting at home, running around all the time? What if something happens to the baby? His tone felt strange to me. Before I could figure out what he meant, I suddenly noticed Jiang Sai's expression had gone cold. My heart clenched for no reason. Jiang Tingyi reached out his hand. Miss, let me take you home. Too many people here. You could get hurt. I was annoyed and avoided his hand. Don't trouble yourself, second young master. When I'm tired, I'll go home. Jiang Tingyi kept smiling, like wearing a fake mask. Didn't the doctor tell you to be careful in the first 3 months? What? You forgot? My expression hardened, meeting Jiang Tingyi's gaze. The threat in his eyes was blatant. Being held hostage really sucks. I had no choice, lowered my eyes and laughed dryly. Almost forgot. Now that you mention it, I am a bit tired. I glanced at Jiang Sai. Young master. You guys have fun, the second young master, and I will head home first. Sai said nothing, his eyes downcast. A heavy pressure surrounded him, like dark storm clouds gathering. Before he could speak, Jiang Tingyi took my hand. Let's go. Xiao Wu quickly called out to me. Miss, the safety locket is for you. My steps paused. This wasn't just some snack. I couldn't just accept the child's kindness like that. This was something her brother worked so hard to get for her. Xiao Wu, this is a gift from your brother. You can't just give it to someone else. But you really like it. Children's eyes are always clear. They see right through what adults try to hide. I forced a smile. Thank you, Xiao Wu, but I really can't take it. But Xiao Wu turned to Jiang Sai. Brother, do you agree I can give the safety locket to her? If you agree, she'll accept it. My nerves wound tight again. I was afraid of hearing some cold, heartless refusal. This night is almost over. I really don't want to stop at such a heartbreaking moment. Ang Sai said coldly, it's just a safety locket. As long as Xiao Wu is happy, even feeding it to dogs is fine. I got the safety locket in the end, but I wasn't happy about it. I took my anger out on Jiang Tingyi. What do you want? Jiang Tianji. The smile dropped from his face. I warned you. Don't get close to my brother again. My patience isn't that good. Am I your possession? You will be eventually. My lips trembled with anger. No, never. Jiang Tianji, I don't like you. I'm carrying your brother's child. Doesn't that disgust you? Zhao Yingying, why are you playing the virtuous woman with me? What? Planning to stay faithful to him for life. Don't forget what you were when you approached him. You're his concubine. Why wasn't that disgusting back then? I trembled all over, in front of Jiang Tingyi. My despicable, ugly soul had nowhere to hide. I threw caution to the wind. I fell in love with him. Jiang Ji stared at me in disbelief, his pupils dilated slightly. His face pale. Zhao Yingying, you're saying you love him? I looked at him steadily. Yes, I love Jiang Sai. He makes me happy, makes me sad, makes me feel ashamed of my own wretchedness, because I love him. Cowardly, I hide my feelings carefully, afraid of bringing him even the slightest danger. Jiang Tingyi, you wouldn't understand that feeling. You say you want me, but it's just your damn possessiveness at work. Don't you think that's pathetic? Yang Tingyu's face went white as paper, his expression terrifying. Pathetic? You don't understand love at all. You just snatch things like a child. Wanting something means you have to have it. Jingji laughed bitterly. His black eyes tinged with blue stared at me, gleaming with an unclear light. Then what? Why should I hand over what I want to someone else? Zhao Yingyin, one thing with me because we see through each other, no need to fake it. We're meant for each other. My temples throughout. No, I've had enough of you. He laughed coldly. Too bad you still have to put up with it. The proof of your crime is growing inside your body. I lost my strength leaning on the table with one hand. I hate you, Jiang Tingyi. The air suddenly went quiet, and for once he didn't mock me. After who knows how, he looked at the bright moon outside the window, his tone changing. It's a holiday, let's not fight. His hand rested on my shoulder. What do you want to eat? I'll go buy it for you. Zheng Sai le. And soon after, Ting Tingyi went to the capital too. So Dingwen's father recommended him for the embroidered uniform guard. My days suddenly became leisure. Nothing to do but rest during pregnancy. It wasn't boring though. Second young miss would tell me interesting stories from outside, and Xiao Wu would often come to my courtyard to play with cats and dogs. She would always mention her big brother. One day, Xiao Wu frowned and said, Mother Xia, cousin is staying at brother's house and will marry brother later. Miss, does big brother like cousin? When she said this, I was dyeing my nails with balsam juice, and I lost focus for a second, spilled it all over myself. What a mess. I don't know either. Spring in the south is always full of rain and mist. During plum season, even clothes get damp and moldy. The floating brocade I bought at great expense couldn't escape either. I bought with a heavy heart. There'd be no more chances to wear it anyway. Hide spring Zengen, one clear day reveals summer's depth. The lotus bloomed on the pond, swaying seductively in the wind. I picked them a suit, but then my body got heavy and I lazed around for days. When I wanted to pet them again, only withered lotus awaited me. On the way back, I tripped, causing some trouble. The doctor Zheng Tingyi left behind said I disturbed the pregnancy. Need to rest for a while, then see how things go. He frowned deeply, making me feel like things weren't good. That night I had a nightmare, dreaming of my mother hemorrhaging during my brother's difficult birth, waking up drenched in sweat. Somehow word got out. The mistress heard about my nightmare. Worried I was young and inexperienced, to comfort me she made a decision to have the second miss take me to the capital and have Jiang Sai ask an imperial physician he knew to treat me. In the past, out of vanity, I would have tried every way to dress up carefully. But now, looking at my pale, weak reflection in the mirror, my belly swollen, body bloated, where was there any beauty left? I closed my eyes. I couldn't bear to look. Reuniting with Jiang Sai, looking like this, was pretty awkward. That night, I had another nightmare. In the dream, Jiang Sai embraced a beautiful woman, standing on high steps, looking down at me coldly. Where'd this ugly woman come from? Throw her out. On a gloomy autumn afternoon, we arrived at Jiang Sai's residence in the capital. Unlike the luxurious estate in the south, his residence was at the end of a deep alley, with a tranquil, peaceful atmosphere. Walking on the cobblestones covered in falling, I felt like I was floating in midair, my heart uneasy. The steward who came with us knocked the bronze ring. Someone came to open. After announcing, a woman's voice full of laughter came from inside. Finally, you're here. I've been waiting since morning. The one who came to greet us was Jiang Si's cousin, the girl rumored to marry Jiang Sai, Wang Man. Where's big brother? He's not off work yet. Cousin always works until late at night. He told me to wait at home for you all early this morning. He'll probably come home early today. She led us to the prepared guest room. I was surprised. The room was set up exactly like my bedroom back home in the south. Even the same tacky red gauze curtains. Wang Man saw my confusion. I smiled. Cousin arranged all this himself. How was the bidet? That's right, auntie gave him strict orders to take good care of you, or cousin would be blamed for any mistakes. I said I'd arrange it, but cousin didn't trust me and sent me away. My feelings were complicated. I wondered what Jiang Sai was thinking while arranging this. Unable to say so, I murmured quietly, I appreciate it. After resting and chatting, before we knew it, evening came. I felt a bit cold. There seemed to be tapping on the window. Looking out, a cold rain was falling outside. Wang Man gasped, saying Jiang Sai left without an umbrella, and quickly sent servants to wait with one at the palace gate. Rain drummed on the parasol trees. The courtyard in twilight was pitch black. People gradually lit up. The hazy lamplight looked forlorn in the rain. Let's eat first. Cousin said not to wait for him. The dishes were southern cuisine. A few were ones I liked. Others were what the second miss liked. Cousin just hired this cook recently. Specializes in southern dishes. My floating soul gradually settled with the warm meal. I thought, Jiang Sai is really thoughtful. Parting on bad terms. He can make people feel warmly welcome through his manners, creating an illusion, as if you're a welcome guest. The cold rain in the courtyard gradually condensed, rising into thick fog. Rocks, pond, trees all had their outlines hidden. Lamplight flickered in the wind and rain. The dim yellow glow seemed precarious. I wonder if Big Brother caught up with the person bringing the umbrella. What if you just came home in the rain? Cousin's not an idiot. Just then, a commotion rose from the corridor, breaking the rainy night silence. Sir, why did you come home in the rain? Quick, get hot water for sir, and prepare clean clothes. My heart pounded violently, hammering against my ribs. My soul knocked loose again, floating. The second Miss and Wang Man had already rushed out to greet him. I stood out, my steps unsteady. I walked a few steps, then stopped. I was scared, terrified of seeing that look of disgust in his eyes. Hurried footsteps echoed from the corridor. As if impatient, but near the door, they paused. A tall shadow fell at the doorway, hesitating. My eyes locked on that shadow. I could barely breathe. Big Brother, what's wrong? The man's voice was home. In this rainy night it sounded strange and distant, like centuries away. Uncle, going to change first. A cold wind suddenly swept through the hall, knocking a wine cup off the table. I covered my heart in fright. The shadow outside moved suddenly. The man strode forward, walked in quickly, raising his hand to lift the curtain. Night and lamplight receded at once, becoming a frozen ink painting backdrop. Court railings, bead curtains all seemed to lose their color, fading and dimming like peeling paint. Only the person who came was vivid and alive. He wore a dignified deep purple official robe, soaked through. The color so intense it was almost black. The darker color made his face even whiter, so pale even his lips had no color, like someone sinking in the deep sea about to drown. His gaze poured onto me like rain. My hands began shaking uncontrollably. Cold? He asked. No, not cold. The food, the room, are they all right? Very good, just like home. He showed no sign of disgust. On the contrary, a faint smile appeared on his face, especially bright in this misty, rainy night. Cousin, why'd you rush home in the rain? I even sent someone with an umbrella. You didn't wait. What's the rush? The frozen scene shattered instantly. Wang Man's complaining voice filled my ears. Sai brushed raindrops off his shoulders, his eyes soft with moisture, saying nothing. The second Miss joked. Big Brother must have missed us so much. That's why he rushed home like an idiot. Zhang Sai glanced at her coolly. She shrank back, her voice trailing off. I'm the idiot. Sir, the hot water's ready. Zhang Sai nodded. His gaze flashed past me like, finally settling on the second Miss. Rest early, don't wear yourself out. Zhang Sai walked out. The second Miss immediately stood up to me, suspiciously stroking her chin. Is my brother possessed by something weird? The way he just talked to me was so gentle it was scary. Rain soaked though. Rain kept tapping on the window. Candlelight flickered in the wind. I leaned on the cushion, wrapped in blankets, staring blankly at the gently swaying rat. I'd imagined our reunion countless times. In my imagination, Zhang Sai's gaze would be cold, cool, hateful. I didn't expect him to be like this. Polite, modest and measured. A side I'd never seen before. I was grateful. When he looked at me, there was no trace of that scrutinizing gaze men give women. He seemed not to see my misshapen body, my pale face. When he looked at me, he just saw a guest from afar. An old acquaintance. This feeling made me relax at once. Forgetting my anxieties about appearance, he must have let go. That's why he could be so open and composed, presenting to me that refined, elegant manner he shows others. Fresh and new. Everything back to the beginning. That's good. If life were only the first meeting, being polite strangers, showing each other bright smiles, kind words. That's good. My floating soul gradually returned in the warm blankets. Sinking into the soft bedding, I felt like I was standing on solid ground again. With a sense of safety and ease from being embraced, this feeling had been absent for so long. I closed my eyes my long tense nerves finally relaxing. My eyelids heavy, I fell into dreams at once, completely asleep. In the bizarre dreamscape, a man's hand seemed to slowly cover my eyes. In the pitch black silence, cold fingers gently traced my cheek, my nose, finally stopping on my lips. The touch so gentle, yet with an extreme, sickly longing. The imperial physician was Gu Boyan. Zhang Sai still seemed wary of him. Every time he came to check my pulse, Zhang Sai would stand guard at the door. Young master, if you don't trust him, find another physician. The best imperial physician. I promised mother I'd find the best physician to treat you. I couldn't help but mock myself. Actually, the way I am, and no one will be into me anymore. Sure, people loved me when I was in my prime, that's no surprise. But no one's gonna love me looking haggard and bloated like this. Zhang Sai frowned and pressed his lips together, staying silent. Its medical skills are incredible. After just a few days of treatment, I felt my complexion starting to improve. I was so grateful to Gu Boyan, imperial physician Gu. I didn't mean to deceive you before. Thanks for not holding it against me. Gu Boyan closed his medicine chest. It wasn't your fault, I was the fool. Your skills are amazing. I feel so much better now. He glanced toward the door. I just write prescriptions. Zhang's the one really taking care of you. He's doing a great job. He paused and glanced at me, hesitating. I picked up on it. Imperial physician Gu, is there something else you want to say? He thought for a moment, then sat back down and lowered his voice. Lady Zhao, I'm a doctor. I protect patient confidentiality. My heart started racing. What do you mean? Gu Boyan looked at me, his tone calm. What I'm about to say might offend you. But I think I should warn you. Go ahead. Someone gave you medicine to hide your real due date. This method fools most doctors. But it won't work on someone like me. I felt a chill run through me. You're wrong. Go boy and didn't argue. Maybe. I'm just suggesting that besides me, don't see other physicians from the Imperial Medical Bureau. Not everyone there is incompetent. I broke into a cold sweat and said nothing. Go boy and picked up his medicine chest to leave. I stopped him. You won't tell anyone, right? It's your secret. I won't say anything. After Gu Boyan left, he talked with Zhang Sai for a while. My heart was pounding when Zhang Sai came in with the medicine. I carefully watched his expression. Thankfully, it looked the same as usual. Gu Boyan must not have leaked my secret. I breathed a quiet sigh of relief. Maybe my gaze was too intense. Zhang Sai looked over. Is something wrong? The Imperial physician could say anything to you? Should he have said something to me? My heart skipped a beat. I just worried there might be bad news he didn't dare tell me, but told you. Zhang Sai stared at me for a long moment. Then he pulled up a chair, sat across from me, hands on his knees, looking serious. That won't happen, Zhao Yingying. Your child will be born safely, and you'll be fine. I froze. He was so direct. It left my hidden fears with nowhere to hide. I gripped the blanket. So many women die in childbirth. Is that what you dream about every night? I looked up and met his eyes. How do you know? Mother wrote about it in her letter. I looked down. I'm pathetic, aren't I? It's nothing. Other women have their mothers and husbands. You don't. Being scared is normal. He paused, choosing his words carefully. But I think you can trust me for now. After all, Mother asked me to. I'll do my best. All my fear and anxiety vanished with those few words. I felt a pang of guilt. I treated you so badly before. Let's not talk about it. His expression was neutral, impossible to read. It seemed like he'd already moved on from the past. I worked up my courage and looked at him. Young master, can we get along like family from now on? I hope my child grows up to be someone like you. People are naturally drawn to the light. He was quiet for a long time, didn't agree, stood up. You should rest. I need to go. My courage deflated like a punctured balloon. I watched him leave, thought about what I just stupidly said, and couldn't help shaking my head. The Empress in the palace is the eldest daughter of the Zheng family. She summoned us to the path. I've never met someone so important in my life. That's a mother of the nation. Or, the second young lady comforted me. Don't worry, big sister will like you too. What is that? Our whole family loves gorgeous women. I laughed. When have you ever seen a gorgeous woman as bloated as me? No, you're voluptuous and glowing. Second miss, if you were a man, you'd be breaking hearts left and right. If I were a man, I'd be head over heels for you. I smiled, my dimples deepening. Then, someone lifted the curtain. It was Zhang Sai. He looked over, and a flicker of pleasure crossed his cool eyes. What's got you so happy? The moment he came in, there was an unspoken sense of pressure. I quietly suppressed my smile. His gaze grew cold too. Zhang Sai saw us to the palace gate, then we had to part ways. Before leaving, he looked at me, his gaze calm, and added, just treat it like visiting relatives at home. I'll be off work to pick you up. I politely replied, if you're busy, you don't need to come get us. We can find our own way back. His lips pressed into a tight line, cold and unyielding. Do as I say. The eldest young lady was gentle and beautiful. She sat there with a smile, and instantly you felt at ease. Her eyes rested on me, her voice soft. My brother specifically told me you're timid. And not to scare you. He worries too much. Who could bear to scold such a beautiful woman? My heart trembled, so he'd spoken to the eldest lady about me beforehand. That's what makes him so noble. Out of duty, he still takes care of me. See, I told you before we left. Sister would like you too. Our whole family loves gorgeous women. After chatting all day as evening approached, I started getting restless. The eldest lady noticed and had a palace servant take me to the restroom. On the way back, the servant was temporarily called away by a steward. Do you remember the way back, madam? I didn't want to trouble her. Yes, go ahead. Don't let it hold you up. After wandering around, the crisscrossing palace paths all looked the same. I got lost. I knew it. I'd reached an old, rundown palace. No one was around. The moment my heart started racing for no reason, I wanted to find someone to ask for directions. Just then, faint voices came from inside the palace. I followed the sound and stopped at a dilapidated door. I was about to knock, but something made me stop. I glanced through a crack in the door. That one glance made my blood run cold. Golden hairpins and jewels were scattered on the floor. An ornate palace gown lay discarded to the side. A man and woman were having a secret tryst on the faded table. The woman's face was flushed, looking deeply absorbed. The man had his back to the door, broad shoulders, narrow waist, wearing the Imperial Guard uniform. His posture looked careless. Commander Zhang, you're always so distracted. The man let out an emotionless laugh. As long as the Imperial consort is pleased. My scalp tingled. That teasing, shameless voice was familiar. Take off your mask. I want to see your face. The man remained unmoved and did something. The woman moaned, half in pleasure, half in complaint. When can we stop sneaking around? Till the Emperor put our son on the throne, and we're done. My hands and feet went weak. The woman laughed softly, the child still in my belly. How do you know it's a boy? If not, we'll swap it. Either way, you'll be Empress Dowager. My temples throbbed. Terror gripped my heart. I held my breath and backed away slowly. Just then, a black cat leaped down from the roof, yowled, knocked over a vase, and alerted the people inside. I was terrified. Who's that? I hid in the shadows of the ruins. The man wearing a gold mask came out with his sword. He walked step by step through the fallen leaves in my direction. My heart was about to leap out of my throat. The man's gaze fell to the ground. To a jade green earring I dropped in my panic. I pulled a golden hairpin from my hair and gripped it tightly, my palm sweating. He bent down and picked it up. He held the jade earring up to the faint moonlight, his gaze darkening. The woman, now dressed, came out. Where are they? Did you kill them? The man closed his hand around the earring, keeping it from the woman. Just a stray cat. The woman clutched her chest and wrapped her arms around his waist. Tomorrow I'll have His Majesty round up all these pests and kill them. So annoying. You should go back. The woman was reluctant. Woke me back. The man cupped her face, kissed her once, and sent her away with a few words. The moonlight was bright. The man tossed aside his sword, walked to the ruins. Sat down with his back to me, separated only by a crumbling wall. Long time no see. My heart sank. The man in the gold mask, the man from Qianxiang House. The man having an affair with the imperial consort was Zheng Tingyi. If I could choose, I wouldn't want to see him again like this. What should I do? He tilted his head back, looking at the moonlit roof, murderous intent churning in his eyes. I didn't want to drag you into this. A shiver ran through my body. My mind went blank. The man on the other side of the wall went quiet, probably planning how best to dispose of my body. When terror reaches its peak, it turns to calm. I looked at the moonlight streaming over the ruins and tried to sound casual. Tingyi, tonight's the 15th too. The moon's as full as it was on Lantern Festival. That night you asked if I wanted food. Said you'd buy it for me. I said no. Is it too late now? The man, leaning against the wall, paused. He was silent for a long time, then finally chuckled. Sure, the 110 East Suburb Alley are great. Want to try them? In the moment I zoned out, he was already standing in front of me. His gaze swept over me, his tone as flippant as ever. You've gotten a lot uglier. I tightened my grip on the hairpin. You can't break your promise just because I got uglier. He crouched down, removed his mask, and faced me. That stunning face looked even more intense in the dark. No, I still want to buy you a snack. But first, I need you to do me a favor. He smoothly took the hairpin from my hand, then pressed the back of my head and covered my lips. He fed a poison pill into my mouth. I shoved him away, eyes red, trying to gag it up. He reached out one hand and easily pinned both my wrists. I didn't kill you, just one poison pill, not too much to ask, right? I was shaking with rage. Should I thank you for sparing my life? He smiled broadly. You're welcome. What's this poison gonna do to me? If you don't take the antidote on time, you'll die a sudden death. You're absolutely insane. He shrugged. Just stay with me every day and take the antidote on time. What exactly do you want from me? Move into my place. No way. He shrugged. Of course, you could tell my brother everything, ask him to have you boy and cure you. But you'll be disappointed. No one can cure this poison but me. Plus, I'll have people shadow you everywhere you go. Poison surveillance, he had me completely under control. I gritted my teeth. You're vile and shameless. You didn't just figure that out about me today. I really don't get it. Why? Why are you conspiring with the imperial consort? The Empress is your sister. He fastened the earring on me, his tone casual. I've never seen the moon over my homeland's grasslands, but my blood comes from there. He's a spy from the enemy nation. My heart jolted. But you're the second young master of the Young family. He laughed softly. I wish I was. Too bad. My mother was a spy too. She was already pregnant when she married Master Zheng. Since I can remember, she taught me to lie and kill. She died. I took over Tianxiang House. I spent all my time gathering intel. I'm sick of it. Might as well take a gamble. Kill your emperor directly, take his place, then I can go home. Scattered pieces began connecting in my mind. He said he went to Zhidang House to investigate a case. The courtesan died suddenly. Then Zheng Tingyi staged a fire to rescue Su Jingwen. After Su Jingwen got engaged to him, using her father's connections, he joined the embroidered guard, seduced the imperial consort, became commander. The courtesan's death was connected to you, wasn't it? Zheng Tingyi didn't deny it. Jiang Sai was invested. Good thing you went that night. Otherwise, we might have been exposed. If he wasn't digging so hard, I wouldn't have had to rush the move to the capital. Why didn't I recognize your voice at Tianxiang Tower? A spy knowing ventriloquism is pretty normal. My temples are throbbing. You had me seduce your father, not to fight for the inheritance, but to turn me into your pawn, so I could gather intel. Right? Obviously. Having me seduce Jiang Sai, my heart sank. From the start, I was your pawn against Jiang Sai. You wanted to use me to destroy Jiang Sai. He sighed. Wouldn't it be better to just be a pretty airhead? Why do you need to know the truth? I gasped. You want me at your place, so you can wait for my child to be born and use it to control Jiang Sai, right? Jiang Sai is chief minister with massive power. If the consort's child wants the throne, they must remove Jiang Sai. Otherwise, with him around, even if the emperor dies, the young prince will take the throne. And my child is the key to controlling Jiang Sai. Even if Zhang Sai doesn't love me anymore, he's so protective, he'll care about his own bloodline. From the beginning, I was Jiang Tingyi's pawn against Jiang Sai, a knave, ignorant pawn. Jiang Tingyi looked at me, said nothing. His pitch-black pupils glinted blue in the darkness. You're so scary, Jiang Tingyi. He was silent for a moment, then slowly asked what if I said. It's just because I want to see you, every day I want to see you. Would you believe me? Do you think I'd believe you? So Jingwen, the consort, they all think you truly love them. You play the part too well, Jiang Tingyi. He lowered his eyes, casually toying with the mask in his hand. I've been honest with you, haven't I? I told you all my secrets. You're the only one who's heard my secrets and is still alive. Jiang Tingyi's way of manipulating women is just too good. He can make you think you're the only one he treasures with just a few words. I steadied myself. There's no point in burning bridges with him now, I have to play along. Jiang Tingyi, I'll do what you say. I'll move to your place. When I got back, the lights were blazing, people were everywhere. Jiang Sai was already waiting in the Empress's palace, looking grim. The second princess threw her arms around me. I was so scared, thought you were lost. Big brother mobilized the imperial guards, was about to have sister order a pallet. I couldn't help but look at Jiang Sai. He was staring at me too. His gaze fell on my lips like fire. My heart skipped. Jiang Tingyi walked up from behind me. The girl got lost. Lucky I found her. The Empress sighed in relief, then reached up to fix Jiang Tingyi's collar. You're a deputy commander now. Still so careless. Couldn't even fix your collar before leaving. Aren't you worried about being laughed at? Jiang Tingyi acted nonchalant, with a casual attitude. My sister's the Empress, my brother's chief minister. Who dare laugh at me? I cursed Jiang Tingyi up and down in my head. How can someone be such a good actor? The Empress laughed at his teasing. You. Always so cocky. I don't know what to say about you. Second brother only acts like he owns the place because brother and sister spoil him. Jiang Tingyi grabbed the second princess by the collar. Looking for trouble, are you? The second princess immediately backed down, big puppy dog eyes pleading. Second brother, it's been so long, you've gotten even more handsome. Jiang Tingyi scoffed. Let her go. At least you know when to back off. I'm seriously impressed by Jiang Tingyi, even better than stage actors. After chatting for a bit, Jiang Tingyi suggested. Big brother's swamped with work. Why not have the girl and second sister stay at my place? I'm just a deputy commander on paper anyway, got nothing but time to show them around. The second princess's eyes lit up. Sounds great. Philip Sai gripped his teacup, his long fingers tense with suppressed force. He stayed composed. He asked me, what do you think? His gaze was way too dangerous. I felt like I was being roasted over a fire. I think it's fun. We're all family. His eyes went cold, his voice flat. No objections. Zhang Sai was angry, a strong gut feeling. After leaving the palace, at Jiang Tingyi's suggestion, we went to East Suburb Lane for dumplings. Jiang Tingyi casually put some from his bowl into mine. Eat more. You're pregnant. You're eating for two now. I felt irritated inside, glanced at Zhang Sai. Steam rose from the fresh dumplings. He sat across from me, his features blurred. The corners of his mouth had a chilling coldness. My heart sank. The food had no taste. I went back to Zhang Sai's place in a daze, sat for a while, drank some tea to settle my nerves, rang the bell to have servants pack up. Someone pushed the door open. I stared out the window, gave orders absently. Pack everything tonight. We leave first thing tomorrow. The person didn't speak. I turned around and my heart sank. Why are you here? Zhang Sai closed the door, bolted it, his figure shrouded in shadow. His ink-dark eyes looked deep and sharp in the shadows. His deep gaze fell on my lips. His tone couldn't be more flat. Your lips are very red. I remembered our most intimate moments in the past. Every time after kissing, he'd hold me close, wouldn't let me leave. Don't want anyone else seeing you like this. I instantly understood his subtle meaning. A cold wind blew in from the window. The back of my neck felt ice cold. My voice shook uncontrollably. I just put on too much roux. He looked at me, coldly called me out. Zhao Yingying, I know you inside and out. I clenched my hands, my throat tight. What exactly are you trying to say? Is the child your father's? I trembled all over. What are you accusing me of? His cold phoenix eyes held not a shred of emotion. His tone detached and unfamiliar. You choose to have the child, near Jiang Tingyi. Risk secret meetings with him, kissing, it's hard not to be suspicious. I lowered my face, using all my strength to stop my hands from shaking. This is everything from his point of view. The person watching me is probably on the roof, outside the door. I can't explain. I can only go along with it. A child should be born with the father present, shouldn't it? The air around us went cold all at once. Even if he makes you a mistress hidden in the shadows, his voice grew colder. Even if your child can only be illegitimate, you're still willing. Yan. After a long silence, he reached out, closed the window, shutting out the cold wind and the night. Every movement calm and natural, like a silent volcano. He turned his back to me, his tone flat. I shouldn't have expected anything from you. My eyes reddened. I lowered my head. Yeah. I moved to Jiang Tingyi's place to wait for the birth. I wanted to find a chance to steal the antidote, but he watched me like a hawk. I had no opening. I was getting anxious when bad news came from the palace. Opus used dark magic to poison the consort. The emperor was furious. Threw her in the cold palace, wanted to depose her, but Zhang Sai blocked it. Citing insufficient evidence, he demanded the Court of Judicial Review reinvestigate. Before the empress's case was resolved, Zhang Sai ran into trouble. Overnight, rumors spread like wildfire through the streets. pointing fingers at Zhang Sai for corruption and plotting rebellion. What starts as whispers can become a storm. The censors impeached Zhang Sai at court, the consort's faction all joined in. The emperor flew into a rage, stripped Zhang Sai of his position, placed him under house arrest, then ordered the brocade guards to investigate his treason case. This is all you're doing? Jiang Tingyi smirked. Obviously. My heart sank. He didn't do it. Can you people really just make things up? Jiang Tingyi stared straight at me. Zhao Yingjing, you really are my brother's weakness. What? That night you went to the palace, he thought something happened to you. Mobilized the imperial guards to search the palace. My brother's always thorough and careful. But when it comes to you, he throws caution to the wind. He didn't go through proper channels mobilizing the guards. If no one makes a fuss, it would have blown over, but if someone wants to make an issue of it, it shows sinister intent. I felt like I was in an ice cell. After everything, why would Zhang Sai still make that kind of mistake for me? Next you're going to testify against your brother, destroy the whole Zhang estate. Jiang Tingyi crossed his legs, posture casual. Zhao Yingying, don't make me out to be such a monster, okay? Honestly, I don't want to destroy the Zhang family, or hurt anyone in the Zhang family. But as long as my brother's around, my plans to force the palace coup are hard to pull. I can only stall. Sorry, he has to rest at home for a while. When it's done, I'll let him go home to mother. How noble of you. He laughed, pulled me into his arms. Let's not talk about depressing stuff. Can I sleep with you tonight? My face went white. Absolutely not. I won't do anything. I saw the stubbornness in his eyes. My heart tightened. Jiang Tingyi, you wouldn't stoop so low as to force a woman, would you? His gaze swept over me. He chuckled. You think I'd want to force you looking like that right now? I pressed my lips tight. Every word with this man is annoying. He softened his tone. I'm just worried you might have an episode at night. I'll feel better staying with you. With you here, I don't feel better. You don't want me dying with the baby in your house, do you? Too unlucky. His usually carefree face darkened. Mention death one more time, and I'll make sure Zhang Sai dies before you. I picked up on a signal. Jiang Tingyi doesn't want me dead. Maybe I can use that. I immediately softened my tone. Don't be so harsh. Not gonna lie, I'm actually pretty scared of dying myself. Jiang Tingyi froze for a moment, then seemed to sense something. Yin, what trick are you trying to pull now? I dreamed I had complications, so much blood. It hurts so bad. Jiang Tingyi cut me off irritably. Enough, stop talking. We pressed my lips together. He pressed his temples. What do you want? I want the best doctor to help me prepare. How why not just say Gu Boyan outright? Gu Boyan is close with Zhang Sai. You clearly want to pass messages through him. I stiffened, put on a soft voice. Honestly, for a second there I really thought you cared about me a little, thought I could depend on you for once. Zhao Yingying, stop your games. Don't use that poor pitiful act on me. I'm not my brother. I won't keep falling for you. I couldn't keep it up. I snapped. Of course you're not your brother. If he was as heartless as you, I couldn't have fallen for him. Jiang Tingyi's face went ice cold. Great, so you love him. Too bad. Every night from now on, you'll only sleep with me? All night I clutched the blanket, huddled in the corner sitting up, eyes wide open. I didn't dare sleep. Zhao Yingying, let's see if you can stay up every night. The second night, I held the blanket and slept at the table. Zhao Yingying, you really think I can't deal with you? The third night I wrapped myself in the blanket and slept at the table again. Jiang Tingyi lost it. Enough, I'll leave, happy now. With dark circles under my eyes, I finally got back into my own bed. I slept for ages. When I woke up, Jiang Tingyi was standing by the bed watching me, his face pale. What? Do I look so scary I freaked you out? He pointed beneath me, his lips trembling. Blood. My heart sank. I looked down and saw the alarming blood. Cold dread spread through me. Night fell. A storm hit suddenly. Wave after wave of pain, attacked from below, like countless speeding carriage wheels crushing me. I couldn't breathe from the pain. Push, Mistress Zhao, deep breath, exhale, push harder. Hang in there. I can see the baby's head. I gripped the sheet beneath me, panicked. Drenched in sweat, almost bit through my lip. The rain outside fell endlessly, tearing the night into cold shivers. A cry cut through the air. It's a boy. Zhao Yingying, he looks just like my brother. It was instinct. I almost cried. Suddenly, Crow, startled by the rain, cried out, like a bad omen. I started feeling very cold, trembling all over. The figures in front of me gradually blurred. Someone shouted in a panic. Second Master, Aunt Zhao is bleeding badly. It doesn't look good. Stop the bleeding, aren't you doctors? Yes, yes. Why won't her bleeding stop? I'm afraid. Shut your mouth. Get Gu Boyan. If anything happens to her, none of you will get away with it. It felt like a hammer was pounding inside my skull. So noisy. That angry shout quickly dropped, now trembling. Okay, I'll be quiet. Zhao Yingying, you'll be fine. Don't fall asleep. Uncle. He wrapped me tightly in a quilt and held me close. How about this? Is it better? Jian Yayang cool. No one spoke. Jiang Yai, are you still mad at me? I think I'm dying. Will you hold me one last time? He went quiet, his voice was heavy. You're dying, and you're still thinking about him. He froze for a moment, his voice was hoarse. Fine, I'll have him come see you. Just wait, Zhao Yingying. Do you hear me? If you want to see him, hang on. Wait for him. I wanted to say okay, but I couldn't get a single word out. I don't know how much time passed. I felt myself growing lighter, slowly floating up, suspended in midair. I saw red ghosts swaying. Oh, the woman held tightly by Jen Tingyu was pale and fragile, like a paper butterfly that would break with one touch. The sheets were soaked in blood, a bright, vivid red. People came and went. Basin after basin of blood water passed through the room. Every face looked grim. A force suddenly pulled me into a long alley. I saw the second miss. She held an umbrella, running through the rain. She fell. Was covered in water. She got up, dropped the umbrella, and kept running in one direction, in an alley shaded by plane trees. She knocked on the bronze door knocker, crying breathlessly. Brother, big brother, mother is in labor. Wang Man opened the door. She looked surprised. She took the second miss to change clothes first, then turned to find the man in the study. Cousin, sister came to say Aunt Zhao is in labor. Doctor has already gone. Everything is going smoothly. Do you want to go take a look? No. He won't come see me. My heart ached in that moment. The force pulling me suddenly let go. I fell from high above. Below was endless darkness. I thought I'd be shattered, but I wasn't. What caught me in the end was a soft cloud. I saw my mother standing by a bridge. She looked gentle and serene, just like in my memories. Her eyes were slightly red. She smiled at me. Our little Yinger has had such a hard time all these years. My eyes slowly turned red. All the pain and fragility I'd held in broke free like a flood, pouring out all at once. Mother, after you left, father stopped loving me. My stepmother beat and scolded me every day. I thought marriage would make things better. But right after I got married, my husband died. I got involved with someone. I fell in love with him. But I couldn't love him. Now he's completely disappointed in me. He doesn't want me anymore. Mother, I'm terrible at being a person. Nobody loves me. I don't want to live alone anymore. It's too hard. No one asks if my poor no one stands with me. So every day my heart feels like it's full of holes, cold and drafty. I'm sick of living like this. I want to be your child again, Mother. Mother, will you take me with you? Now don't cross this bridge. Little Yinger, someone in this world loves you. Look at what you're holding in your hand. I looked down and saw the safety lock clutched in my hand. My tears finally spilled over. He had said, "This is for feeding." No, that was a gift he went to great lengths to give you, hoping to make you happy. I looked out, through my tears. The red spiral of the bridge began to swirl rapidly. They formed a vision of lanterns and fireworks. In the dim glow, a man held a young child. He stood far away beneath a laurel tree, watching a woman playing the arrow game. His expression was bleak. Xiao Wu, will you do your brother a favor? What? Help me give mother a safety lock. Why doesn't brother give it to her himself? Doesn't want anything from me. But what she does want, I want to get it for her. If mother doesn't like you, why do you still like her? I'm not sure. Even when my heart has grown cold toward her, I still want to make her happy. Do you really like mother, brother? Mother looks so beautiful tonight, but you haven't looked at her once. I don't dare. Why? There's someone bad living inside. If I look at her even once, that bad person will come out. He'll want to lock her up and keep her all to himself. That would be wrong. Still waters run deep. No one knew the raging currents below. A silent volcano. No one knew the molten lava churning within. My heart shook. My hand trembled. I reached out to touch the man in the vision. But the scene burned away like fire, turning to ash in an instant. Jiangya. Another scene appeared on the bridge. Heavy fog. A man closed the door and looked out the window at the dark, stormy weather. His eyes showed a weary, defeated look. His voice was low and hoarse, almost inaudible in the raging wind and rain. You don't want to see me, do you? The next moment, he frowned, as if something occurred to him. All composure and calm vanished. He flung the door open, almost in a panic. Prepare my horse. This was a Zhang Yai I had never seen before. The Zhang Yai in front of me was always composed and unfappable. Cousin, you're still under house arrest. You can't leave. You lied. Something happened to her, didn't it? No. If she was safe, Wang Wan wouldn't have come in the rain to bring word. If something happened to her, Wang Man, I won't recognize you as my cousin anymore. Cousin, I'm doing this for your own good. It's a dangerous time. You can't leave the estate now. Even if you go, you can't go now. You have to wait for second cousin pass to arrive and go under the pretense of an interrogation. Otherwise, His Majesty will be furious again. I can't wait another moment. Let him be furious. What can he do to me? Everyone around fell silent. Cousin, are you really going to ruin your future for some insignificant Aunt Zhao? Is it worth it? Rain splashed on the blue bricks, stirring up a mournful mist. The man mounted his horse. His handsome face blurred in the fog. She was never insignificant. She is a lady of my Zhang household. To me, she is precious beyond measure. My soul grew heavy in that instant. Some powerful force was desperately pulling me back. Little Yinger, live well. From now on, many people will love you for me. A blinding white light flashed before my eyes. I gradually heard the sound of wind and rain. The cold still weighed heavily on me. The sky hadn't brightened yet in the half-light. A tall figure carrying a lantern walked in, bringing with him the wind and rain. He came over, bent down, and took my hand. His knuckles were strong, his skin was cold, carrying the deep chill of rain. I shivered. His fingertips had a thin layer of calluses, the texture was rough. He looks a lot like you, doesn't he? Word by word, Zhang Yai. He didn't like the talk. He preferred to show his hidden, intense love through gentle touches. My drifting soul felt an unprecedented warmth in his touch. I felt like I had become a docile cat, quietly resting in his broad palm, eyes closed. No need to speak. Just this quiet closeness was enough. The smell of blood in the room was still sharp. Someone lit pine wood. Someone lit candles. Warmth and fragrance gradually drove away the cold and blood. The cold autumn rainy night became soft and peaceful in the lamplight. Sorry to trouble you, big brother. I couldn't keep it quiet. I never expect. He pressed his lips together, just like his silent, stern father. He looks a lot like you. I closed my eyes. Word by word, Zhang Yai. And back from the swamp of death. Of course you've good boy and treat your injuries. He silently held me and the baby in his arms. Bro, you really went all out. Who's closer to you, me or her? What do you think? Outside, wind and rain still raged, but they couldn't reach this warm room. The man's tall shadow stretched long in the candlelight. His silent shadow completely covered me and the child, shutting out the storm entirely. Your brother beats you and you don't fight back. 见天性. I think maybe you do have some conscience left and still respect your brother. While you haven't made a huge mistake yet, turn back now. You can still be saved. Everything happened in silence. Everyone seemed exhausted. And they all stayed quiet. You think I can fight back? You probably don't know this, but my brother served in the Northwest Army. Sai Shu, who commands the military now, is his personal protector. I couldn't keep it quiet. I never expected you to. Jiang Tianji looked gloomy. Zhang Yai put on his cloak and walked out, looking relaxed. Xiao Yingying quit looking so pathetic. Before leaving, he told Jiang Tianji to look after the mother and child. Of course. Have good boy and treat your injuries. Jing Tingyi, face bruised and swollen, flexed his arm. Bro, you really went all out. Who's closer to you, me or her? Zhang Yai, expressionless, what do you think? So after Zhang Yai arrived and confirmed I was safe, he took Jiang Tingyi outside and beat him up. Strangely enough, Jiang Tingyi just let his brother beat him. Didn't complain once. I thought he was so weird. Later I asked him, your brother beats you and you don't fight back, Jiang Tingyi. I think maybe you do have some conscience left and still respect your brother. While you haven't made a huge mistake yet, turn back now. You can still be saved. His expression was unreadable. You think I didn't fight back? You probably don't know this. But my brother served in the Northwest Army. Wu Ji, Shu, who commands the military now, is his personal protégé. That's when I remembered Jiang Yai's endurance and stamina. And how he once said he'd run away with me to the borderlands and start a family. Suddenly it all made sense. No wonder I picked him. Zhao Yingying, quit looking so pathetic. Yai was still thrown in jail, but no verdict came for a long time. There were two reasons. Not enough evidence, and the Zhang family's roots ran deep. Pulling one thread could unravel everything. And second, Zhang Yai had an ousting during his years in office. He led the cabinet, implemented reforms, cleaned up corruption, enriched the nation. The borders, and did countless good things for the country and people. His reputation was solid. A careless conviction might trigger public backlash. So, the matter was dragged out. Not long after, something happened in the capital. Thousands of citizens petitioned with a letter. It started when the emperor removed Zhang Yai from office, then promoted the imperial consort's father to chief minister, but immediately started putting his cronies in power. He placed competent officials managing floods in the south with the Pumbo. They botched everything. Broke over 4,000 households were flooded, deaths numbered in the tens of thousands. Public anger surged. The emperor to favor worthy officials and keep flatterers away. Restore Zhang Yai as chief minister. Severely punish the consort father and other corrupt ministers. But the emperor was hopelessly in love for the consort's peace during her pregnancy. He silenced all opposition. Everything stayed the same. He even brought up deposing the empress again at court. The consort immediately backed him. But the faction, led by young General Si Shu, firmly opposed it. Shu got angry. He accused Zhi Shu and others of conspiring with Zhang Yai. He put them under house arrest and docked their pay for 3 months. Jing Tingyi just scoffed at it all. So, this is what my brother's been loyal to. Never should have helped this loser take the throne. The emperor was just some forgotten prince back then. He married my older sister and got the Zheng family support. He clawed his way through that bloody succession fight and took the throne. But once he became emperor, he got obsessed with women and ignored the country. All these years, Zheng Sai's been leading the officials, working himself to the bone, just to keep the country stable. Jiang Tingyi's bitter tone confused me. I glanced at him. Why are you upset? Isn't this what you wanted to see? The emperor and his best minister each other, so it's trouble brewing from within. Your plan's about to work. And Tingyi pulled himself together, unimpressed. Games without a challenge are boring. The months flew by. The noble consort gave birth to a prince. The palace threw a month celebration and invited everyone. My second sister and I got invited too. The reason, my eldest sister was pregnant again and depressed. The dog emperor suddenly grew a conscience and wanted us to keep her company. Before we left, Zheng Tingyi's face looked odd. He said, Zhao Yingying, I've sent your child back to our home in the south. My heart skipped a beat. I knew right away, tonight was when Jiang Tingyi and the noble consort would stage their coup. The palace halls towered high, lights dim, music playing. Everything looked peaceful and prosperous. Soon after the banquet started, the noble consort smiled and told the emperor, I heard the empress dances beautifully. Would I be lucky enough to see her perform today? The emperor immediately ordered my eldest sister to dance. This was a blatant insult. No empress would dance in front of everyone. Especially not when she's pregnant. I glanced at Jiang Tingyi. He clearly didn't expect this either. His eyes flashed cold as he glared at the noble consort. My second sister wanted to stand up. My eldest sister pushed her back down. My eldest sister stayed calm. I'll dance. I looked at the slick snowy ground. My eye twitched. I tried to stop her. The ground's slippery. This is too dangerous. Your pregnancy's already unstable. I know, but the Jiang family can't defy His Majesty again. I was shocked and confused. Why is this still happening? That night Jiang Sai came to see me. I wrote in his palm that Jiang Tingyi was an enemy spy plotting treason with the noble consort. If Jiang Sai passed on the message, the noble consort and Jiang Tingyi would be arrested and the Jiang family would be cleared. Why is this still happening? What went wrong? Something cold touched my neck. I looked up. It was snowing again. My eldest sister stood in the snow, her back straight. She looked fragile, like a reed that could snap, but there was a quiet strength in her. Little sister, if my blood can protect the Jiang family, I'm willing. At the banquet, young General Xie Shu stood up in protest. The empress is the mother of our nation. She shouldn't have to dance for us common folk. The emperor sneered. Are you saying I'm wrong? I said no such thing, Your Majesty. The emperor suddenly hurled his wine cup, mashing Xie Shu's forehead. Blood poured out. Bring me your command is sealed tomorrow. The noble consort grabbed the emperor's arm. Your Majesty, calm down. Then she turned to my eldest sister. Empress, why aren't you dancing? Do you want to defy His Majesty too? My eldest sister said. She bowed to Xie Shu in thanks, then began to dance. Xie Shu wiped the blood away, tore off part of his sleeve and covered his eyes. It was a silent protest. But suddenly, the sound of tearing cloth filled the hall. Most officials silently covered their eyes with cloth to show respect for the empress. Can't punish everyone. The emperor threw his cup in rage. The 4-year-old crown prince tugged at my sleeve. His eyes asked me what was happening. The crown prince still can't speak. My voice was thick. I comforted him. Your mother wants to dance for you, Langer, to make you happy. The crown prince frowned and looked down, saying nothing. My eyes burned. I held him close. My second sister covered her face, leaning on my shoulder. Her tears soaked my clothes. Humiliation felt like a dull blade slowly cutting through the heart. Soon, a sharp scraping sound crossed the snowy ground. A servant cried out, Your Highness. My eldest sister fell. Blood flowed from her legs, turning the white snow red. Medley covered Langer's eyes. He struggled hard, whimpering like a small animal. Tears streamed down my face as I tried to calm him. It's okay, it's okay. The snow fell especially cold that night, piercing, making teeth chatter. The snow got heavier, covering the blood on the ground. My eldest sister was rushed back to her chambers for treatment. What rotten luck. The noble consort complained, Your Majesty. Today is our child's month celebration. What should we do now? My love. The noble consort pointed at the crown prince. Have the crown prince give his blessings to his little brother. The emperor beckoned to him. Langer, come here. I held Langer tight and knelt. Your Majesty. The crown prince is frightened. Please let me take His Highness back to rest. My second sister knelt too. Please, Your Majesty, consider the crown prince is young. How dare you defy His Majesty? I held Langer and wouldn't let go. The crown prince pried my fingers open one by one. He didn't speak. He could only shake his head at me, his eyes telling me what to do. A sharp glint crossed the 4-year-old's eyes. It was the same resolve and determination as my eldest sister's. My whole body shook. He pulled free from my grip and walked toward the throne. He bowed formally, his thin shoulders trembling slightly. But he stood straight. Why won't the crown prince call me father? And the crown prince pressed his lips together. Are you unhappy with your father? The emperor on the throne spoke coldly. Langer, just call me father once. The crown prince looked at him like he was a stranger. The emperor took a sip of wine, then suddenly slipped his arm. Cups and dishes flew everywhere. I couldn't hold back anymore. I rushed over and shielded the crown prince. Sharp porcelain cut the back of my neck. The pain was clear. Fear gripped my heart. The emperor stood and ordered. The crown prince disrespects his title. The hall erupted. The crown prince's teacher stood. Your Majesty. The crown prince just struggles with words. His love for Your Majesty is clear in his writing. He pulled out a calligraphy book from his robe and had a servant present it to the emperor. His Highness just started learning to write. The first words he learned were, Father Emperor, please examine this, Your Majesty. Someone echoed, please examine this, Your Majesty. In an instant, everyone joined in, please examine this, Your Majesty. Heavy snow fell. All the officials knelt, snow on their shoulders, protecting the young crown prince. The emperor closed his eyes and smiled. Wonderful. I'm still alive, yet my crown prince already has so many loyal ministers supporting him. I'm deeply comforted. A flash of cold imperial ruthlessness crossed his face. Take them all away. Charge them with treason alongside Jiang Sai. Everyone said there wasn't enough evidence. Is this evidence enough today? A group was arrested and dragged. Half the seats at the banquet emptied. Only the noble consort's people remained. The noble consort handed the emperor a cup of wine. Your Majesty, calm yourself. He pulled the noble consort into his arms and drank. My love, you're the only one left who pleases me. The cup emptied. The emperor's hand trembled. The cup fell. My love, this wine. The noble consort smiled seductively and pushed the emperor away. Full of troubles. I feel sorry for your majesty. I want you to sleep well, free from all these worries. You want to kill me? Your majesty, how can you call it killing? I just feel sorry for your majesty. The emperor gasped and roared, Imperial Guard. They dragged this woman out and beat her to death. The Imperial Guards stood in formation, perfectly still. The emperor finally realized, his face showed shock. You? Are you rebelling? The noble consort laughed and looked at Zhang Tingji. Commander Jiang, His Majesty wants the Imperial Guard to kill me. I'm so scared. Zhang Tingji stepped out from the shadows. He smirked, devastatingly handsome. With me here, no one dares touch you. My second sister cried out, her whole body shaking. Brother. He glanced over coldly and ordered the Imperial Guard. Have His Majesty write his final decree. Imperial Guard moved. They Feng Rou. Two guards pressed cold blades against the emperor's neck. Zhang Tingyi sat next to the emperor, dictating word by word. I must have heard wrong. I thought he said, pass the throne to the first prince, Li Changguan. Li Changguan is the crown prince. My second sister wiped her tears. I knew it. My brother wouldn't let me down. I was stunned. What game is Zhang Tingyi playing now? The noble consort smile froze. Zhang Tingyi. Do you know what you're saying? Zhang Tingyi smiled. Why the rush? I'm not done yet. He propped one leg on the dragon's tongue, casual and rebellious. He continued. Consort committed treason, execute her entire family. The noble consort rushed over and grabbed him. Are you insane? Zhang Tingyi. Not insane. I told you not to touch the Jing family. You did. This is the price. We have a child. What about our child? Zhang Tingyi, you're the child's father. Zhang Tingyi kept smiling. But the smile didn't reach his eyes. Not mine. The noble consort's face went white. How is that possible? Zhang Tingyi clapped his hand. A man who looked exactly like him walked out. The man peeled off a skin mask, revealing an ordinary face. Zhang Tingyi's smile turned cold and mocking. I'm not interested in sharing a woman. Your child is his? No. Impossible. You're lying to me. You're all lying to me. The noble consort snapped. She grabbed the guard's sword and stabbed the man to death, then turned the sword toward Zhang Tingyi and thrust it back. Blood sprayed like mist. The noble consort collapsed. She convulsed, eyes open, asking bitterly, why? Zhang Tingyi crouched down and coldly pushed the blade deeper, inch by inch, piercing her heart. If you'd just gone straight to the point, killed the stupid emperor, and put your kid on the throne, that would have been fine, but no. You had to humiliate my eldest and make her bleed so much. Watching that annoyed me. When I'm annoyed, I change my mind. So, at the last moment, Zhang Tingyi turned back from the edge and switched sides. Just as I was reeling in shock, an arrow suddenly shot from above, piercing straight through Zhang Tingyi's heart from behind. Everything happened without warning. My heart jolted. Brother! My second sister screamed and rushed over, catching Zhang Tingyi as he swayed. At that moment, lights appeared on the high palace walls. Countless archers lined the top. This farce is finally over. A cold voice rang out from the high platform. The emperor on the throne pushed away the blade at his neck. Like shedding a fake mask, he smiled coldly. I was horrified. Tingyi propped himself up with his squinted, slowly looking up at the emperor on the throne. You didn't drink the poison. I just played along and lured you into my trap. You hid really well. How can I let others sleep peacefully beside? Whether it's you and the noble consort, or Zhang Sai, you've all given me such headaches. All my questions were answered in that instant. No wonder even after passing on news of the noble consort's treason, Zhang Sai still stayed locked in prison. My eldest sister was still persecuted. The Zhang family was still on the path to destruction. The one who wanted to destroy the Zhang family was never an outside enemy. It was the cold-hearted emperor. The emperor knew about the noble consort and Zhang Tingyi to usurp the throne. But he let it happen. First he used them to destroy the Zhang family. Then he wiped out the noble consort and the Zhang family together in one sweep. He stayed behind the scenes, reaping all the benefits. He might neglect his duties, but he's a master at manipulating people. Pathetic. Zhang Tingyi forced himself to stand and faced him. My eldest sister is your lawfully wedded wife. Lin Zhi is your child. You won't even spare them. I won't kill them. But they have Zhang blood in their veins. They can't be empress and crown prince. Without the Jiang family you'd never be emperor, you useless piece of trash. Ungrateful scum. His sharp words struck the emperor's nerve. The emperor's face darkened. He ordered the archers to make him die with arrows through his heart. When second miss heard this, her whole body shook, but she didn't hesitate to stand in front of Zhang Tingyi. Don't be afraid. Wan Wan will protect you. Wan Wan, listen to me, move away. Now, even if I can't save you, I want to stay with you. Once the arrows from the high wall are shot, they'll pierce second Mrs. frail body first. I shivered. Without a doubt, tonight, every member of the Jiang family here will die. I put down the little prince, walked over, and stood in front of her. Since death is certain, I can at least shield the ones I care about from some pain. Good, saves me the time of killing them, one by one. The emperor's voice suddenly turned hard. Langer, come to your father. When I looked up again, the little prince was already standing in front of the three of us. The little prince acted as if he heard nothing. The emperor was silent for a moment. Langer, if you keep standing in front of them, your father will execute your mother immediately. The little prince's whole body trembled. He turned to look at us, pressing his lips tight, his pale little face covered in tears. He grabbed my hand with one of his, grabbed second misses with the other, and looked at the emperor. The emperor pondered for a moment. Consider this your father's compensation to you. These two, you can take them away. The little prince looked at Zhang Tingyi again, his eyes flashing with guilt and self-blame. Jiang Tingyi looked at him and gave a pale but relieved smile. Langer did great. Uncle is proud of you. He looked at me. Zhao Yingjing, please take my sister and nephew away. Zhang Tingyi, why couldn't you just be completely bad? He gave me a bitter smile. I pretended for so long. I forgot I'm not the Zhang family's second young master anymore. I wiped my tears, pulled second miss away, grabbed the little prince, and asked Zhang Tingyi, do you have any last words? A clear smile slowly appeared on his face. Zhao Yingying, I really wanted to pull you down with me. I took them away without looking back. The snow kept piling up. Snow melted on Zhang Tingyi's shoulders. He hung his head, held his sword with one hand, knelt on both knees. His figure gradually slumped down. Blood seeped from his cold armor, quietly flowing into the snow, staining his white jade like Han's red. I thought for a long time, finally recalling what he looked like when we first met. It was a gentle spring day. Apricot blossoms covered his head. The young gentleman in his thin spring robes was drunk and fragrant, completely carefree. But now the man kneeling alone in the snow wore thin clothes. And though he tried hard to hold it in, his body still trembled. His end was bleak. If he had just been the Zhang family's second young master, he would have stayed carefree forever. Second Miss desperately tried to run back to him, but I held her tight. She cried her heart out, an enemy spy. To her, he's just her beloved brother. He's bleeding so much, he's in so much pain. Miss, we can't leave him alone. All I could do was hold her tighter. The cold arrows on the high wall aimed at Zhang Tingyi again. His thin armor wouldn't hold much longer. Shoot. Now. Second Miss covered it. I closed my eyes too. The wind howled, a fierce gust tore through the air. A cold silhouette cut through the dark clouds, hanging over the palace like a blade. Your Majesty, my brother did wrong. I will discipline him myself. No need for you to trouble yourself. My heart shook. I opened my eyes, and tears fell. The arrows shot from the distant platform struck down the cold arrows from the high wall. All arrows fell like rain, snow and wind roared. Zhang Sai was tall, wearing a snow-white cloak. His face stern as water. He held a bloodied sword in his hand and walked calmly through the dim lights. Behind him were Xi Shu and Gu Boyin, and soldiers in armor like a tide. The emperor's face darkened. Zhang Sai, how are you here? You can only blame the assassins you sent for not being skilled enough. Them. Don't worry, your majesty, I dealt with those wastes for you. His sword had drunk hot blood and gleamed coldly with bloodlust. The emperor's composed expression cracked, revealing a trace of panic. Brother Second Miss couldn't hold back anymore. She threw herself into Jiang Sam's crying heart. Big sister's in trouble, he's in trouble too. Big brother, what do we do? Brother's here, everything will be fine. Be good, stand aside, don't get in the way. After comforting Second Miss, he walked to Zhang Tingyi's side, took off his cloak, and draped it over Zhang Tingyi. Brother, I'm a spy. Sai suddenly pulled the arrow from Zhang Tingyi's chest, cutting him off. His expression was cold. You're tired, you can shut up now. He stood up and said to the person behind him, Dr. Gu, my reckless brother needs your care. The emperor couldn't hold back anymore. He stood up, hands on the table. Zhang Sai, you colluded with the enemy, plotted treason. Crime after crime, unforgivable. Your entire clan should be executed. Shai sneered. Our nation is ruled by law. Your majesty, as the ruler, should rely on evidence, not baseless accusations. Otherwise you damage your imperial authority. Evidence. Today you surrounded the palace with an army. Your ambitions are plain for all to see. You misunderstand, your majesty. I heard the imperial consort was plotting treason and rushed to rescue you. The imperial consort has been dealt with. I don't need you to rescue me. Zhang Sai rubbed his brow and looked at the guards on the high wall. Majesty, the imperial consort has so many followers who haven't been eliminated yet. We must root them all out. I'm happy to help you with this burden. He didn't even wait for the emperor's response. He raised his hand and gave the order. Instantly fans of arrows flew from the platforms, killing intent filled the air. All around, terrified screams rang out like a landslide. In moments mounds of courtesans ceased. The scene made my legs weak. Who would have thought the refined Zhang Sai was this ruthless? The emperor realized something. His face went pale. Zhang Sai, what are you going to do next? Zhang Sai looked at the emperor. His cold gaze was like looking at a dead man. Next, I want to have a talk with your majesty. Zhang Sai's expression was calm. He held his sword and walked step by step toward the high platform. The emperor stumbled back a step. Zhang Sai, stop. It had no effect. Zhang Sai gave a contemptuous smile. Your majesty should think about your last words. He stood on the high platform, his robes fluttering. The cold light from his sword illuminated his stern expression. His cold phoenix eyes were slightly lowered, his lips pressed into a straight line. His sharp features were like blades, creating an oppressive presence that made it hard to breathe. And that small red mole between his brows was blood red, making anyone who looked at it terrified. The emperor looked at him as if looking at a death god. He instantly lost all strength, collapsed in his seat, his voice weak. When did you deploy the army? Tonight. Jiang Sai's face was expressionless. If you hadn't harmed my family tonight, I wouldn't have taken this step. Jiang Sai, are you really going to rebel? You forced my hand, I have no choice but to rebel. I forced you. You don't say how you forced me, Jiang Sai. You control all military and political power. Does this realm belong to the Zheng or the Li family? Jiang Sai pressed his brow, his tone disdainful. Is it my fault that your majesty is incompetent? Why do I control all military and political power? Don't you know? If your majesty hadn't spent every night in pleasure and neglected state affairs, I wouldn't have had to exhaust myself managing everything. The emperor was left speechless after a long. He said hoarsely, "You've always looked down on me, haven't you?" A cold gleam flashed in Jiang Sai's eyes, with a chilling intensity. "Yes, that's true. I didn't expect that. Besides tolerating your majesty's incompetence, I also had to consider your feelings." The emperor's face turned livid with anger. "You're so arrogant and insolent. Your treasonous heart is obvious." Jiang Sai lost his patience and called the emperor by name. "Li Fushen, you're incredibly foolish. If I truly had treasonous intentions, would you still be sitting here today?" The emperor gripped the armrest of the throne. "Even as you didn't before, how can I be sure you won't later? Your existence is a threat to me." Jiang Sai sneered. "Li Fushen, do you think everyone loves power as much as you do? In fact, as long as you treated my sister well, you could have been emperor safely forever. I wouldn't have rebelled against you, and I wouldn't have let anyone else either. Too bad, you messed up." The emperor's face went white. "Jiang Sai, give me one more chance. You don't want your sister to lose her husband, do you? Years ago, on a snowy day like this, you led the army and helped me take the throne. Jiang Sai, I'm the emperor you chose yourself." "Huh." Jiang Sai laughed coldly. "Li Fushen, you're wrong. I didn't choose you, my sister chose you. When she was 16, she held a pomegranate flower you folded for her, blushing, and told me she wanted to marry you. Daoda, Ruer is my first sister since child. I've never failed to give her what she wanted. She chose you, an unloved and reclusive prince. I didn't approve, but she insisted on choosing you. As her brother, I had no choice but to protect you for her sake and help you rise to power." The emperor gripped the armrest tightly, his lips trembling, unable to speak. Jiang Sai's eyes grew murderous. "If I had known this day would come, that Ruer would be forced to dance for everyone in the snow, forced to use her own blood to save her family, I would have killed you back then." He raised his hand and pressed his sword against the emperor's throat. A ruthless gleam crossed his eyes. "But even now isn't too late. My sister, even if she chose wrong, has a chance to start over. If her husband dies, I'll just choose another one for her." The emperor stared at the cold sword, his voice trembling. "Even when dealing with your family, I never meant to harm Ruer. As Gu Boyan, I called for him early to stand by. I wouldn't let Ruer be harmed. If you truly loved Ruer, you wouldn't have let her face even 1/10,000th of the danger." The emperor was silent for a moment, then said weakly, "I love her, but I'm afraid to love her. Her existence constantly reminds me that I'm worthless. If your Jiang family is dissatisfied, you can replace me at any time. No emperor dares to love an empress like that. You married her for her family's power, didn't you? Don't you feel ashamed saying this now?" Jiang Sai completely lost patience. His sword pushed forward 3 more inches. "Li Fushen, say your last words. After I die, I want to be buried with Ruer." "Impossible." Just as the blade was about to pierce his throat, a young voice suddenly interrupted. "Uncle, don't kill father." The emperor looked at the little prince, a glimmer of hope in his eyes. Jiang Sai looked at the little prince. "Langer, are you sure? I thought if love is a weakness, Jiang Sai is covered in them. He's always soft toward those he cares about." The little prince nodded, speaking clearly. His young face was solemn. "If uncle kills the ruler, it will give others leverage, not worth it." Hearing this, the light in the emperor's eyes died completely. He covered his forehead with his hand, hiding all his emotions. A faint smile appeared on Jiang Sai's cold face. "What does Langer think should be done with him? Imprison him for life. No visitors allowed." Jiang Sai pondered a moment. "Uncle will listen to Lan. But the blood your mother and uncles shed today can't be in vain." Langer obediently covered his own eyes. "Whatever happened when uncle rescued everyone, Langer didn't see. I quietly covered Langer's ears." The sword flashed cold. The emperor's agonized screams echoed like a wailing ghost, lingering endlessly. Go Boyan was overwhelmed. "Chief Minister, you're really something. Not one cut is fatal, but every cut is agonizing. He deserves it." The wind stopped. The little prince tugged my sleeve and pointed at Jiang Sai. I picked him up and walked carefully to Jiang Sai. He seems to want his uncle to hold him. His decisive methods earlier still scare me. I don't really dare to tease him casually. I must have had some serious nerve before. If I'd known I was messing with someone like this, I never would have dared provoke him. From the corner of my eye, his jawline was tight. The sword in his hand was still dripping blood. His presence is command. My heart's pounding with fear. With a loud cry, he drops his sword and raises his arm. The next moment, his strong hand pulls the little prince and me into his embrace. I gasp softly, my heart's beating so hard it might break through my ribs. All around, soldiers stand in cold armor, wind and snow howl, every tree bends and breaks. His voice is still icy. "What about you? Can this uncle get a hug?" So Dian charming, my heart's all aflutter. I'm like a girl with her first crush. My face flushes red in an instant. His hand presses against the back of my head. His chin rests on top of my hair. His voice gradually softens. "I really missed you. He was handling business just now. Didn't dare look at you." That sense of distance and fear vanishes instantly. Even if he's a lawless, powerful official, he's still Zhang Ye. The corners of my mouth just curl up on their own. In my heart, countless fireworks explode. "In front of all these people, you're absolutely outrageous." I poke his shoulder. The corners of my mouth taste as sweet as candy. Compared to treason, this is nothing. We lock eyes. His gaze falls on my lips. I bite my lip. He leans down. Just then, a small hand shakily lifts up between us. "Uncle." Uncle, Lan can't breathe. I look down, because Yang Ye is holding too tight. The little prince sandwiched between us looks a bit pale. Face burning, I shoved the little prince into Jiang Ye's arms like a hot potato and jumped back. The next instant, I meet the second Mrs. Puzzled gaze. She comes over, tilts her head, and studies me. Miss, you just now. Without missing a beat, I explain fast. Your brother wanted to hold Lang. When I handed him over, I tripped and bumped into him. Lucky your brother's so easygoing. He's not mad at me. That's not it. The man's cool voice slowly rises behind me, like a terrifying bolt of lightning. My heart leaps to my throat. I immediately spin around and beg him with my eyes not to say anything. He looks at me, presses his lips together, his expression serious. I'm not happy about it. I'm upset, miss. Come out with me for a minute. My heart stumbles. I steal a glance at the second miss. Fortunately, she's still clueless. She's quietly pleading my case. Big brother, Mrs. Skin is delicate. Go easy on her. I cover my face. She thinks Jiang Ye will punish me like he did with her palms. Jiang Ye keeps a straight face. I'll be gentle. Over the man's shoulder, I gaze at that branch of vibrant red plum blossoms peeking through the window. Tears well up. The lingering snow on the red plum slowly melts in the moonlight. Milk water trickles down, flowing into the tender flower petals. I whimper nonstop. You said you'd be gentle. In the end, Jiang Ye carries me back. What happened to miss? The innocent second miss asks. Jiang Ye's face doesn't change. She hurt her leg. I'm dying of shame. After getting in the carriage, asks me mysteriously. Miss, how'd you upset brother? Not hurt from a fall. You knelt so long your legs gave out, didn't they? Brother made you kneel, right? My face is red enough to drip blood. How do I tell the family about us? Jing Yi doesn't hesitate. Be completely honest. No way. I really don't want to see everyone's disappointed faces. I feel so guilty. Wang Qiyang Yan Ye lifts his eyes from his book. His gaze is cool. Then you want to see me disappointed. I spent several nights coaxing him. My back's about to break. Only then does he relax, fully satisfied. Leave it to me. I suddenly realize he tricked me. Did you already have an idea? You deliberately held back, waiting till I pleased you before tossing it out, didn't you? He's totally calm. Did I ever ask you to please me? Ye brings the rest of the Zhang household to live in the capital. At the same time, he invites Xi Shu to stay. Then they go to court together, inseparable. After court, the two hole up in the study, and won't come out. Warm, worried they're overworking, she brews pure water and brings it over every night. At a few times after she knocks, it takes forever before the door opens. Xi Shu looks flustered, his clothes disheveled. Yan Ye is using Xi Shu's hair ribbon to tie his hair. His usually pale lips now have a hint of color. While playing cards, the madam's distracted. Their bond as teacher and student runs so deep. You bet, my brother and Xi Shu are so close, they might as well sleep together. If Sai Shu were a woman, my brother would probably marry him. The madam seems pricked in a sore spot. Stop it, stop it. What do kids know? You're talking nonsense. The eldest miss gently adds, Xi Shu is wonderful to brother. He's followed brother all these years. Because the eldest miss had a miscarriage, new emperor gave her special permission to return home to recuperate. Just then they return from court. Xi Shu immediately comes over. He respectfully greets the eldest miss first, then stands beside her coaching her on cards. He also strolls over unhurriedly. He stands next to me helping with my hand. The two of them end up right next to each other. The madam's gaze drifts between the two. She looks tense. While shuffling, Xi Shu and Jiang Ye's hands keep brushing against each other. Every time they touch, the two exchange glances, and the madam flinches like she's been stung by a wasp. She shivers. After one game, the madam's drenched in sweat. She waves her hand. That's enough, let's call it. Seeing Xi Shu and Jing Ye about to leave together, the madam quickly stops Jing Ye. To separate them. It's getting late. Take Miss back to her quarters first. Hearing this, Xi Shu eagerly offers, can I come along too? The madam wipes her sweat. Xi Shu, our eldest miss wants to ask you about Lang's performance at court. The eldest miss furrows her brow. Did I say that? This girl's memory is getting worse. She's very understanding. He obediently sits down. I get it. I won't walk with master then. On the way I can't help teasing Ji, such a deep bond between master and student. You two might as well sleep together. I wanted to see him blush. Instead he glances at me coolly, lifts the lantern and walks ahead. Ignoring me. Hey, you're not actually mad, are you? He gives me a look that says, figure it out yourself. Since he's been paired with Xi Shu lately, with no time to bother me, I'm feeling refreshed and cheerfully bounce along behind him, back to my quarters. At the door, I push it open, wave goodbye to him through the crack. See ya, Master Jing. The next instant, the man's hand blocks the door and pushes it open, not inviting me in for tea. I have a bad feeling about this. Never provoke a man who's been holding back for days. I clutch the red silk drapes, tears streaming as I silently recite it. What do you want for a midnight snack? The man's low voice is pure torture. I'm not eating. I'm full. Rolls up a sleeve of his official robe, refined and composed. I want to eat. Keep me company. I shudder. I'll burst. Shu's mother visits the estate. She chats with the madam about fresh news from the military camp. I hear there are quite a few men with, that preference. The madam's face goes white. No, that can't be true. Madam Xi really treats the madam like family. She doesn't hold back at all. Oh, sister, what are you worried about? Your eldest son doesn't stay in the military camp anymore. He definitely won't pick up that bad habit. The madam delicately asks, does he sure have any marriage prospects? Madam C slaps her thigh. Sister, don't even mention it. I get mad just thinking about it. Why do you think he's hiding at your place? Isn't it because I nag him about marriage like a broken record? That brat. He's not getting any younger. He's never shown interest in any girl. Why is he so clueless? Wait, did he catch it too? The madam spits out her hot tea. The more Madam C thinks about it, the more panicked she gets. Otherwise, why would he suddenly tell me about that stuff in the camp? Was he testing me? He even asked what I thought about it. No way. I gotta go find that boy and feel him out. The madam quickly urges her to go. She sets down her teacup. Flustered and lost, she sends someone to fetch Jiang Ye. Sang, Xishu doesn't have that preference, does he? That's personal. Your son can't say. The madam's face stiffens. She can't go up. If she directly asks Jiang Ye if he has that preference, he'd probably just tell her, no comment. The madam slumps, dismissing Jiang Ye. After a while, Madam C comes back, fuming. That little punk asked me if it's better to be cut, sleeve, or marry a widow with kids. I told that little brat straight up, as long as she's female, even if she's a sow, this old lady will accept it. Jiang's inspired. That very day, she spends a fortune at several major brothels in the capital. She redeems several top courtesans and sends them to Jiang Ye's room. He opens the door, sees them, and is polite and courteous. My apologies. I have something to handle. He quietly closes the door, giving a silent signal to the guard on the roof. So the courtesans all get dumped at the madam's door. The madam's shocked. Who did this? That guard figures he might as well end it. He jumps down from the roof and confesses, I did it. The young master ordered it. The young master said any woman who shows up in his room gets tossed out. The courtesans all show identical looks of disdain. Your young master probably has no interest in women. The madam looks ashen. But soon, she and Madam C ask around everywhere. Finally, they find an enlightened master and get a solution. The master teaches them to set up a peach blossom charm. At a specific time, they need to have a man and woman walk into the charm. Then the man will fall hopelessly in love with the woman. Hearing this, the madam's overjoyed. She rushes home to set up the charm. According to her plan, the key moment should feature Wang Man. But Wang Man's already been bought off by Jiang Ye. Tonight's my way of making amends. Please put in a good word with him for me, and help me find a good husband. I hear Jiang Ye clearing his throat in the plum grove. Wang Man immediately shoves me hard. I crash straight into Jiang Ye's arms. Wraps his arms around me seriously. I think about the madam watching somewhere and my face goes pale with fright. I try to squirm free. His arms tighten. He lowers his voice. Don't forget, you promised me a proper status. I stump my feet anxiously. What do I say later? You don't have to say anything. Just stay in my arms. He leans down, presses his forehead to mine, his breath hot. Zhao Yingying, kiss me. This guy's unbelievable. Even at a time like this, he's got the mind for this. Damn it. When soft lips cover mine, I kiss him back on reflex. I'm so annoyed with myself. He chuckles low. It's natural when feelings run high. Nothing wrong with that. Stop talking. In the darkness, I kiss him fiercely to steal my nerves. The time comes, lanterns light up all through the plum grove. The madam cheerfully emerges from the darkness with a lantern. Fighting ignorance. Son, what are you doing here with this young lady? The madam hasn't realized it's me yet. Jiang Ye steadies me in his arms, composed. Mother, I want to marry her. The madam's overjoyed. This young lady is. Decisively turns me around from his embrace, his expression relaxed. The old friend. I lie in bed, tossing and turning. Old friend. Screw old friend. I kick the bed frame hard. Thinking of the madam's expression like she'd been struck by lightning. And then her final words. It's too late tonight. Come to my room tomorrow and we'll talk. I really want to run away in the night. Run away in the night. Why not? Let me dodge this first. The kid's got his father to watch him. I don't need to worry. I immediately climb out of bed, wrap my fur coat, put on my shoes, hide some banknotes on me, and quickly go to open the door. The door opens. I'm face to face with those phoenix eyes, cold as still water. Legs go weak right then. I almost drop to my knees. The man reaches out to steady me, looks over my bundled up outfit, his tone unhurried. Going out. Can't sleep. Just taking a walk. My voice is trembling. Okay, I'll come with you. It twitches. The wind blowing in from outside cuts like a knife. Now that the door's open, it's pretty cold. I'll just go back to bed. I spun around like my butt was on fire and dove straight back into bed. Pulled the covers tight, wrapped myself up like a burrito. The man calmly closed the door and latched it, then sat down on the edge of the bed like it was nothing. Changing into your nightclothes. I'm getting sleepy. I'm about to pass out. My eyes are closing. Not gonna change. Too tired. Go to sleep then. I thought I was off the hook. But then the man calmly lifted my covers. I flinched. But you said I could sleep. You sleep? I'll do what I need to do. You're such a beastie. He raised his hand and tapped my forehead with his knuckles. Helping you change into nightclothes makes me a beast. My face turned red. He opened my robe and instantly, banknotes fluttered out like snowflakes. Our eyes met. My scalp tingled. I like holding something when I sleep, makes me feel safe. He gave a cool laugh. Doesn't that feel lumpy? I can deal with it. He pulled me into his arms. Good, that you don't mind lumpy. His low husky voice brushed past my ear like fire, making my whole body heat up. I'll give you something to hold. My hair stood on end. Now you don't have to be so generous. His gaze deepened. Didn't you just say you were cold? It's pretty warm for your hands. I almost screamed for help. Good girl, reach out, hold it. Something hot pressed into my palm. I was too embarrassed to open my eyes. Zhao Yingying, what are you so shy about? Wait, this texture. I opened my eyes and blinked. In my palm was a warm hand warmer. It really was warm from my hands. My face turned beet red. The man leaning against the bed studied me thoughtfully. Zhao Yingying, what were you thinking? Why is your face so red? The next day, the mistress brought in an expert to break the love curse. The expert waved his hand. This is simple. But there's a side effect. Should be fine though. The mistress beamed. Of course. What could be worse than this? True, you've seen the world, madam. The last person I helped sued me, said I was reckless with human life. The mistress quickly pulled Zhang Sai behind her. Master, what's the side effect? Nothing much. The young master will die suddenly in a year. The usually gentle mistress grabbed a vase and hurled it at the expert. Get out, now. The master clutched the expensive vase and ran like the wind. That night, the mistress and I talked all night long. A few days later, we went to the temple. A carriage slid down a cliff. The household held a funeral. The whole world knew concubine Zhou and the young master of the Zhang house were dead. The child and I were kept in one of Zhang Sai's outside residences. Somehow, scandalous rumors about Zhang Sai spread through the capital like wildfire. In the cabinet, Official 1 heard the news. The chief minister has a mistress on the side, even has a kid. Official 2, oh, I heard ages ago. The night we put down the rebellion, the chief minister held a mother and child in front of the whole army. First time I ever saw him look so tender. His eyes were practically dripping with emotion. Even he resisted. That imperial concubine was truly evil. Everyone knows the chiefman is crazy protect, using his woman and kid to threaten him. She deserved what she got. Official 3, I knew before you did. It was autumn, just an ordinary day. The usually focused chief minister kept spacing out. Asked me 100 times what time it was, when I said it was time to leave. He just got up and walked out. Bad timing though. Started pouring outside, he didn't have an umbrella. I saw he was still getting over a cold. Told him to wait, he said someone was waiting for him at home. Had to get back, just ran into the rain like some lovesick kid. Right then I knew he had a woman at home. Who's keeping a woman? A cold voice cut through the whispers. The officials looked at each other and pointed. Him. Zhang Sai smiled, breaking from his usual coldness, seemed friendly. Those of you with wives at home, go on home, don't waste time here. Wait, what's happening? Clearly the man's personal life is going well. Haven't you noticed he's been in a great mood lately? The other day his collar wasn't buttoned right, I saw it. He still had a red mark on his neck. An older unmarried official covered his cheek. Quietly picked up his files and shuffled to a corner. What are you doing? My tooth hurts, don't want to hear this. While the rumors were at their peak, the new emperor issued an edict. Arranged a marriage between the chief minister and his cousin. This cousin was me. With a grand procession, Zhang Sai married me. Firecrackers went off, laughter and applause filled the air. The groom is here. Felt like I was back at the Lantern Festival. That night, heart pounding. Sneaking a peek under the veil, peeking through the curtain to see my future husband. He sat tall on his horse in red robes, radiant as spring willows. Brilliant as the morning sun. Even after seeing him countless times, my heart still fluttered like the first time. His gaze swept past the crowd and met mine. He smiled helplessly, his beautiful lips curving. Silently scolding me, cover it. I blinked at him shyly and lowered the red veil. On our wedding night, the candles by the window burned all night long. That bastard Jiang Tingyi was actually brought back from death's door by Gu Boyan. After recovering for a while he finally got better. When I went to visit him, he had that reckless look on his face again. One day apart feels like 3 years. Zhao Yingying, I missed you. Show some respect, I'm your sister-in-law now. Zhang Sai is so stiff. If you ever get tired of him, come find me anytime, I'm a prince, after all. When I go back I'll inherit the throne, better than some chief minister. Oh, by the way, turns out Jiang Tingyi's real father is the emperor of the enemy nation. What rotten luck. The man had no heirs all these years. After searching, finally found his illegitimate son Jiang Tingyi. Had no choice but to agree to Zhang Sai's demands. Signed some harsh treaties with our nation to protect his only heir. Jiang Tingyi was really touched that Zhang Sai saved him that night. But after hearing about the treaties, he cursed up a storm. So he saved me to sell me for a good price. If I ever call him brother again, I lose. That's why he's so resentful toward Zhang Sai now. The idiot doesn't realize his brother saved him before knowing he was the only heir. Who am I? I'm my husband's devoted wife. Can I let people diss my husband? I looked Jiang Tingyi up and down with contempt in my eyes. A man's strength depends on his qualities. Second young master. You're not bad, but compared to my husband, you fall short. In a fight, you just get beaten by my husband. With that physical condition, pathetic. Jiang Tingyi's face went through a spectrum of colors. Red to blue, blue to red. Zhao Yingying, how would you know? It's just an example. I was going to say a lot shorter. But since he's a patient, I'll hold back. How would I not know? Wait, how does the lady know? Jiang Sai's cold voice sounded behind me. Why did he look so grim? Like Jiang Tingyi. Why are both brothers upset? I quickly grabbed his arm, all sweet and innocent. Of course I know. Husband, I've seen many men. You're the most perfect. Why did my husband's face just drop? I looked to Jiang Tingyi for help. He looked totally unhelpful. And fanned the flames. Brother, you better keep your wife in check. Really? The vindictive little brat. I think Jiang Sai was upset. He worked late on documents for several nights, didn't even pay attention to me. When I was out shopping with second miss, I stumbled on some shimmering brocade. I stroked the smooth fabric and grinned. Sister-in-law, what's up? I figured out how to handle your brother. That night, I dressed up carefully, put on a spring robe made of soft, silky shimmering brocade, checked myself in the mirror. Graceful figure, delicate hands, slender waist. A total seductress. Let's see if I can't bewitch my straight-laced husband. The lamp outside lit up. Jiang Sai opened the door carrying a thick stack of documents, saw me reclining on the bed and froze. I turned my waist, eyes smoldering. Husband. After a moment of silence, his face didn't change. My lady, I have some things to handle. Wait a moment. He closed the door and left immediately with that annoying stack of files. I threw a pillow in frustration. Am I not better than those documents? Is Jiang Sai broken? Wait, some things to handle. Closing the door. This routine feels familiar. I remembered. Years ago, when he had his guards throw out that courtesan, he was this polite too. I jolted. I jumped out of bed clutching the blanket. Getting thrown out dressed like this would be so humiliating. I wrapped myself in the blanket and hid in the closet. The door creaked open, footsteps approached, my heart pounded. Don't come, don't come. Can't find me, can't find me. The next instant, I locked eyes with the man. My lady, next time hide somewhere else, okay? I shrank deeper into the closet, trembling. I'll sleep in the study, don't throw me out, I won't bother you. The next moment, I was yanked out and tossed hard onto the bed. The man pressed down on me, too late. Lost in the waves, I glimpsed daylight through the window. Sore and weak, I cried tears of joy. Husband, you need to go to court. The man's voice was hoarse. Took the day off. When I asked my lady to wait, the night burned on, passion still blazing. Spring was soft, birds were singing. A toddler just learning to walk stumbled toward his grandmother and fell into her arms. Grandma, hug. Oh, my precious darling. Grandma will hug you. Mother, Nianian looks more like his brother every day. He's my son, of course he looks like me. Mother, your brother, thought he had everyone fooled. But the world played along and sided with love all along. Not far away, the young general climbed over the wall, planning to pick a spring blossom for the graceful Empress Dowager. Outside, the young physician straightened his collar and knocked. Once a month, he used checking her pulse as an excuse to see sixth miss. Below the wall, young second miss bent down and crawled through a dog hole, just poked her head out and met the guard's threatening gaze. In the courtyard, the second young master of the Zhang house lounged in the spring sun. A dog kept him company.